Hey everybody, welcome back to Big Campaign Stories. This is Jeff, your GM and narrator. Today we have another Buddy Cop episode, this time with Oswald and Sparks. Go and say hey.
Hey everybody.
Hey.
But before we get started, let's get them lightsaber checks.
Snap.
Jesse?
I got a 1. Backed up by 15.
Alrighty. And Dan?
I'm trying to remember how to do this. Oh, I rolled a 2, followed by a 15. Yay.
Damn it. Beat me on blackjack. You're the first person to beat me on blackjack on this.
Nice. Seems like you guys are already in sync.
Great.
Hit me. I got a 2. Now I'm beating you.
It didn't roll. Why? Why do you do this? I rolled a 4.
Son of a bitch, you're on 21.
Yeah.
All right. I'm on 18. I need 3. I got a 12. I bust. I got out blackjacked.
We pick up with Oswald the next morning. With the folder in hand, he is supposed to meet up with his partner for this mission as he reads through what Ophelia has sent.
Mhm.
The text message back that he's received from the number that he sent out to says to meet me at the Fuzzy Bugbear, a pizza and fun joint a few streets over, next to the Myrtle and Fern funeral home.
Because of course it's next to a funeral home.
I mean, where else are you going to drop your kids when everything goes awry?
Yep. Yeah, so I imagine that since this is the next day, I swung back by the office, had some coffee that has probably been sitting in the pot for God knows how many hours. Actually, it's probably Lucius's coffee from his office that's been sitting there for a couple days. And he doesn't care because he makes it taste better, and I can't do that. And I'll also grab Cobbler, I think, for this one. I'm feeling like I need a little bit of like stability and normalcy in my life. So I'm gonna bring Cobbler along, put him in my pocket.
You're able to get a quick nap if you need one, if you want to get rid of the fatigue condition for the time being.
Oh gosh, I probably sit on the couch and think about going to sleep and then don't do it.
Lauren is currently using, I believe, Forrest's room.
Mhm.
At this late at night, Gore's not here. Barry is still up and about and will happily pour you some real coffee after seeing you grab the old cup.
Thanks, Barry.
Though the android doesn't have full facial expressions, you still get the very strong feeling that Barry's looking at you with worry.
Oh yeah, I can tell when androids are worried. Seen that look many a time from my parents.
You will head out into the city, taking the bus back to downtown so you can meet up at the Fuzzy Bugbear. As far as the mission goes, you know you'll have a chance later this evening as Mavi Naran's ship is supposed to stop at Duskblade Tower for a brief kind of refresher, pick up supplies, people to use the high-end restaurants up on the 50th floor, things of that nature.
Okay.
So, as you arrive to the large brick building, single floor, with a yellow roof outside, a comically painted bugbear is laughing, throwing pizza at another bugbear. You open the door to the jangles of loud electronic kind of kids music.
Yep.
Arcades going off, and the smell of who knows how many day old pizza. But it does smell warm.
Yeah. I imagine as I come in, like that first initial sensory feeling is one of nostalgia. And it's like, oh yeah, I remember doing this like not that many years ago, being a kid running around in a place like this. And that lasts for maybe 5 seconds before just like the noise and the lights and the sound start to be a little overwhelming, and I'm looking around and like I keep thinking I'm hearing things underneath the chimes and the bleeps and the warbles that are more sinister. So
Yeah.
I become a little more tense and nervous instead.
Yeah, with the sounds of playing coins, neon lights, flashing arcades, and things like that, they definitely do bother your eyes a bit.
Mhm.
But as you come around the corner, past the salad bar that's probably very unsanitary,
Who even eats salad?
you will spot your partner on this mission, Sparks. What are you up to? And describe your character.
So, Sparks is about average height. One of the things that stands out is he is wearing what looks like a delivery or a courier's armor, except the name has been kind of peeled off. It's covered in different colored spray paints. His hair has kind of got this gold or yellowish, bluish kind of a weird mix. He is clearly an android, and he is kind of bouncing in place, kind of playing 2 skee-ball games at the same time. You see a lot of like tickets that have been just pouring out. That the other thing you notice is that he's not missing a lot of shots because there's something going on. And he has just kind of got headphones on, and he is just kind of bobbing to music that you kind of hear if you got too close. Kind of sounds like techno house music.
As you approach Oswald, a small swarm of children will come rushing by, screaming and laughing as they grab at tickets that have piled up that E-Sparks has left out as they go running, yelling into the depths of the restaurant.
Cool. I think that'll actually make me smile a little bit. Yeah, I'll go up and probably just tap Sparks on the shoulder.
He'll kind of look over his shoulder, toss the last skee ball in, pull his headphones down.
Oswald, go ahead and describe what E-Sparks would see.
Oswald is an Illican. So he's got kind of grayish purple skin, tendrils on top of his head instead of hair that he usually wears kind of like messy and unkempt. He doesn't really try to style it like some Illicans do. He's definitely on the younger side, probably in his early 20s. He tends to wear kind of baggy clothes like cargo pants. He's got a kind of a puffy jacket underneath, but most noticeably he's wearing this like harnessy backpack type contraption full of straps and buckles and a big silvery, I don't know, almost egg-shaped thing on his back that has pokey bits coming out of it at all angles. He's got a sword on his hip, which is kind of unusual for this day and age, I think. And he looks really tired. It's really obvious that he's got bags under his eyes. His eyelids are drooping. He's trying to truck on. He's clearly just like, I'm on mission right now, but it's pretty obvious he's tired.
Yeah, E-Sparks, you can definitely tell that his eyes are a bit bigger than standard Illican eyes, and they do flash, reminding you of deep-sea creatures you might have seen before.
Oh, that's fun.
Sparks would stare at him for a moment, stare at him for another moment, and then go, "Are you heading on a trip? You got some bags with you."
You could say that. And you look like you're recently free of your employment.
Sparks will kind of raise a mechanical eyebrow to that, look down at his uniform, look back up, and he goes, "Oh, you thought, oh, no. Let's just say this fell off the back of a truck a while ago. I like causing trouble for the corps I don't necessarily work for. I don't do a lot of work. I pick up side jobs here and there, and mostly camp out, hit the festivals, do an odd job or two, go to more festivals, jump out of buildings, then run. So,
Oswald's just like nodding along, trying to pretend that he understands everything you're saying, and he probably understands about half what you're saying. Festivals are not his gig. Oswald like hesitates there. He's trying to figure out how to do this like suave and cool, and he just really doesn't know how. I think I'm supposed to bring you along on a job.
Sparks will start patting himself down, looking for the remnants of whatever used to be his phone that has probably been taped and duct taped and glued back together to see if he has messages that he didn't know of.
Yes, you will have a message on there alerting you that a drop-off will be coming. And now it finally makes sense, that lizard folk that was bothering you about an hour ago, that didn't go away while you were slamming those balls up into the Matterhorn. But you can see a dossier sitting on the table behind you with pizza stains on the corner, and probably at this point a lukewarm root beer.
Sparks will move the soda, pick it up, drink it, pick up the pizza, munch on it as he kind of, with his hand, just kind of hold it up. He goes, "So, I think this is what I'm supposed to give you, or I was supposed to read. I don't know. The guy wasn't really clear. He kept trying to talk to me while I was in the groove."
Right. You've done stuff like this before, right?
Stuff like what?
That is a really good point. Can I see that? And I'll point at the folder in your hand.
I'll hand him this folder that has grease stains, coffee or soda rings, and everything else on it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna compare his folder against mine and see like what does he know versus what do I know.
As you begin to compare notes, a person walks over with a overly sized bugbear helmet, so you can see their face sticking out where the nose would be, as they begin to play a small ukulele, but upon seeing both your faces, will walk off to entertain a different table. Comparing these two, they're fairly similar. Both are describing that Ammon is paying for a snatch and grab, on a ship. The ship is owned by Mavi Duran, an Illican mogul who inherited the rights to globes and is making a huge profit off the interest of that. Currently, they're spending their time buying artifacts as they travel around the world, and it just happens to be their birthday weekend. So they have paid for a trip through Dusk Banter, past the lockdown, so they can stop at the Duskblade Tower to have dinner on the 50th floor at a high-end restaurant. Ammon has given to you in both of these dossiers. You guys have key cards that allow you access to the elevators on the Duskblade Tower. While yours, Oswald, says that you were there to steal a painting of a hallway with red bricks and many gray doors, versus s03e11 will say that they's there to steal a shard of metal, a piece of the Blade of Arashi, an ancient artifact to an old god that no longer exists, or one that you guys have never heard of. So you're more than welcome to roll knowledge religion if you'd like to, or if you care to.
Sure. Well, fine. I got a 28 on my knowledge religion with a natural 20.
Luckily, Oswald was a huge Arashi fan in religious studies back in high school and remembers it all perfectly.
There goes my 20. Could have used it for something useful later on. Nope. Dead god. That's what we get.
Arashi was a Kushani god of storms and vengeance. Though it hit prominence probably about 500 years ago, most of the Arashi shrines, cults, and believers were killed off during the rise of the Zerain Empire. To this day, there's not really much left of them. There is a shrine to Arashi located in the Spider Forest, and every once in a while you'll see references to it used more as a slang or colloquialism, but in all effects, you've probably never met a cleric of one or even a follower of one.
Yeah, I'm down. Seems like a cool god. Hopefully they're still around out there doing cool things and just in hiding.
At the bottom of both of your dossiers, it does say that they will be paying, of course, each of you for the item you bring back, but they do make a note that if both items come back, there will be a bonus. You do notice this suspiciously does not say that both of you have to come back, just that both items do.
And do either of the dossiers say what the other person is supposed to be getting?
It does.
Okay.
Sparks has wandered off, grabs some more pizza, and comes back with a plate piled high with more greasy pizza, and kind of stands there as you're reading, just has been munching down on pizza.
Yeah, when you come back, I'll hand you back your folder, and I'll look around to see if there's any stray pizza that's been orphaned laying around, so I can eat some too.
I paid for it all. You want this plate? I can go get more.
Sure, thanks. I will happily take your plate of greasy 3-day-old pizza.
Sparks doesn't even go all the way to the pizza rack. He just swipes by one of the tables that's unwatched and just grabs a plate and just comes back with that plate.
I'm like looking over at you as you do that to see if you're also going to grab some of the birthday cake.
You know what? Let me see. Odds or evens? Odds. Yeah, he grabs a couple pieces of birthday cake too.
Nice.
For the fun and adorableness of it, go ahead and give me that sleight of hand.
Is Timmy going to cry now or 10 minutes from now?
There's my sleight of hand. 22.
Nice.
Yeah, Timmy doesn't even realize. It's kind of those things where they start handing out the pizza and you're supposed to pass it to the next person. And s03e11 is just standing at the front and gets 2 plates and walks away.
Awesome. So when you come back, I'm hungrily eating this pizza. Probably about halfway through the pile already. And I'll hand you back your folder. Say, well, it looks like we're supposed to get on this airship and steal some stuff. Does that sound like something you're familiar with?
Stealing or getting on airships?
All right, you're right. Not stealing. So, like, we're supposed to legally reacquire from someone who doesn't want us to have some things off this airship.
So we are doing a repossession?
Yeah. That's the work I do. That hopefully you do as well. Or
Sparks
maybe you have.
Just starts laughing when you say that stuff that he does. Fox don't have a job. He just does.
Okay. Cool. Well, if you just do this, then we get paid.
Oh, all right then. We won't be jumping out of any tall buildings, will we? Because the last time that happened, one of my partners got a nice little boost in the butt. I think he's still walking a little funny.
I'm thinking through like the scenario that the dossier is painting. It's like, we may actually be doing exactly that. Yeah.
Oh, all right then. We're doing it in daylight this time, or are we doing it at night?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know what time this airship's supposed to be at the tower. Does the dossier say what time, or?
Since they do have reservations, it does have it for 9 p.m. tonight.
There we go. Tonight. Nighttime.
All right, then. Well, I'm Sparks.
Oswald. I'll extend a hand to shake.
Sparks will extend a greasy hand and shake yours.
Oh, yeah. Grease on grease. That's how we're doing it.
Bossman, so, I guess lead the way?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, you guys will notice that you've probably outdone your welcome here, as you can see a couple of people with their bugbear mascot helmets talking to a small child that is covered in spray paint and tickets as they are pointing over, asking obviously where she got the spray paint, and points to a table with an android and an Illican currently sharing way too much pizza with birthday cake.
Sparks is actually going to try to position himself to where he can't be seen, so all they see is Oswald staring off.
Oswald will look around and see that we're about to be kicked out and just like give this like stupid grin and wave and like take a swig, like grab a can of like warm root beer and start walking towards the exit.
Yeah, under the faint protest of hey, stop there, as you guys head out into the city.
I certainly don't hear that.
At this early, you can hear sirens in the distance. Not as many vehicles out and about as they hover by, but the large illuminated billboards are just starting up their day's work as holograms of shopping mascots and high-end boutiques, as you guys are pretty close to downtown, can be seen.
Okay.
Sweet billboard of a lizard folk wearing a very impressive set of sunglasses as they look off into the distance.
With that special look that only sunglasses models can pull off.
Mm-hmm.
I will feed a piece of pizza to Cobbler as I kind of look Sparks up and down, trying to assess like what his normal mode of travel is.
Also, surprise to Sparks as a orange and white cat pokes its head out of a puffy jacket to grab a slice of pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Sparks will raise an eyebrow at that. Is that some kind of special drone thing?
What? No, this is Cobbler. He's a cat. You've never seen a cat?
I've never seen a cat living in a jacket.
He doesn't live in the jacket. He's just coming along. And I'll scratch his head.
On a mission in an airship
Sure.
that we might
It's
have
okay.
to jump out of.
Well, that's why he's in the jacket. He can't fly. He's just a cat.
I thought cats always landed on their feet.
I mean, sure, but from 50 feet up, I don't know how much that helps. Or 50 stories up.
And
Anyway,
Sparks
he'll be
will
fine. He'll be safe, I think.
yeah, Sparks will just be kind of bopping around. Clearly, probably used to walking.
Shops are open yet or not yet?
They're just starting to open. Imagine it's about 10 a.m.
Okay, cool. Right on. I got a better idea. You ever do a skateboard before? Do you know how to skate?
I know how to parkour, run. Sometimes
Oh,
I
yeah.
compel myself with my kicks, and he'll raise up his feet and kind of show off he's wearing some Zell kicks that are actually in really mint condition. Like they look like that is the one thing he actually takes care of.
Nice.
Though it has a different pattern on it, you recognize the shoes instantly as the same kind that Gore wears.
Aha. I've been seeing these around. They're popular, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you sound like you can board. So yeah, I'm gonna wander into a convenient skateboard shop, and we're gonna purchase a skateboard for Sparks.
All right. Yeah, the Lycal behind the counter will show off various wares as you guys pick out one that has the correct style and look upon it. But shortly, you guys will both be in possession of skateboards. Coming outside, you'll notice it does stand out a bit, especially this early. A heavy, black, unmarked, double-wide Hedron vehicle goes moving by, windows tinted as it passes, heading northward.
Yeah, I'm definitely giving it the stink eye as it goes.
Has there been a lot of those vehicles in the city since Sparks has been here?
Now that Sparks thinks about it, they've seen probably 4 or 5 of them in the last 2 days, which feels like a lot.
Is there something special going on that Sparks don't know about? I mean, last time I saw that many unmarked vehicles, I was running the other direction.
How long have you been in town?
Sparks will kind of like think, tilt his head to the side, think, scratch his chin, and just shrug.
I don't know. Like everything's going screwy now that I'm on did whatever legal thing they did with the houses and the corporations and the wine baskets. Do you know about the wine baskets, the wine thing?
Sparks is just gonna give you that like deadpan like stare.
Right. If somebody offers you some wine at this point, especially when you're in this city, just don't take it. Just walk away from them.
Resting bot face.
Yeah, resting bot face.
Awesome.
Sparks will just slowly nod up and down with that like he thinks it's clear on his face he thinks that you have not slept enough and that you're going a little nuts.
Right. And I can tell you're doing that like exaggerated mechanical nod that I know you are trying to act as though that's just how you nod, but I know better.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, I don't know. Things are weird. Like, companies are declaring war on each other. People are getting shot. Baskets of wine or how it happens. It's weird. So I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's just part of the normal stuff the new normal stuff that's going on. There's also some people who maybe are on the lookout for me or the company I'm working for, but we're not. The war hasn't started yet. I don't know, man. It's weird. Shit's weird.
So, your boss man
Mm-hmm.
ticked off somebody, got a wine basket, and now you're all in a war?
Yeah, you're tracking. You're caught up.
I feel like there's a lot of information that is needed that I just don't want to know. Because I feel like this is one of those things that the less I know, the better it is.
Yeah. Unless you get wine, and then you really need to know a whole lot really fast.
Why would someone give Sparks wine?
Because they want to hurt you and take your money? I don't know. Now I'm saying it out loud, it's like, this is really weird, isn't it?
It is, my friend. It is. So, I guess...
I don't know. There's some kind of like old laws that Ammon's using to take shit over, and now everybody's just copying their lead. I don't know.
Sounds like the deaf leading the blind. But, I guess we have work to do to keep you from getting 86'd.
Well, hopefully I should be okay. I'm trailing off like I was about to say nobody's tried to hurt me yet. It's like, that's probably not true.
But with that, yeah, as you guys get your skateboards and are outside, in this early morning as that black van drives by, you will see there are a few people finishing up, putting in a large tag in a back alleyway of the same kind of graffiti that you've seen, Sparks, on your trip here. And Oswald, you have seen this before on the freeway heading towards the Sword Eye District. The massive blue paint as the person swipes across with a mop, doing the giant symbol between these skyscrapers. Yeah, if they catch sight of you guys watching, they'll drop their stuff and run.
Sparks is just gonna, like, stop, look at the paint. See, this is just lazy tagging. There ain't no pizzazz, no flavor. Laziness. Just street art used to be about the art. Now it's just how much paint can you get on a wall before getting caught. And then Sparks is gonna go over and grab any spray paint that they dropped.
No spray paint, like a bucket of sky blue paint and kind of a makeshift mop for it.
Wow.
Like two brooms duct taped together to be able to get up high enough.
This is just laziness. I mean, spray paint, at least you get some color and you can control it. This is just he comes walking back to you, just shaking his head. Just lazy.
I would have been nodding along. I would have followed you over. It's like, I'm kind of curious to see where this goes. Are you about to continue the work?
Well, boss man, so I guess we gotta go figure out our plan.
Yeah, so we're heading to Duskblade Tower, and I'll point at it. I assume it's like this giant needle pointing up in the sky.
Yeah, you know, it's a newer building, recently constructed. So yeah, it definitely casts a shadow across downtown. Yeah. It is by the main Ammon Advancements cigarette.
So I'm gonna grab Sparks's arm and say, all right, we're gonna get there faster than just normal walking. And I'm gonna shoot a grappling hook out at a passing car and let it just tow us along on the street.
Sparks is enjoying this. Just that lag.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and give me your acrobatics, both of you. It takes Sparks a second to get used to it, but you're a highly dexterous character with acrobatics. It's not hard for you to get the hang of it.
Mm-hmm. That's a 29 for me.
Alrighty. And a 20 for me, Sparks.
Yep.
Yeah, with Oswald taking the lead on this, you guys are able to quickly move through traffic, bouncing from vehicle to vehicle, making very wide turns as you... This is a pretty easy way to get around, especially following courier vehicles, as well as using like the light rail. The mining gear definitely adds an extra level to this for you guys to be able to get momentum, as well as change direction or change angles quickly. But you guys will get there just at the end of what looks like a bit of a commotion at the base of Duskblade Tower. It's early morning, and you can see seeker vehicles all about as they're loading into the back of a vehicle an old woman, a lizard folk, and a couple human-looking people. Looks like an incident happened over the weekend here at Duskblade Tower.
Huh.
Man, this city's messed up. They arrested an old woman.
I'll just be like staring at it for a second and just kind of shrug and say, I guess so. I guess I'll turn to Sparks and say, the airship's not supposed to be here till 9 o'clock, or at least that's when his dinner reservations are. But
that gives us time to figure out how we gonna get there.
Well, we got key cards for the elevator, but, I mean, neither of us look like we belong in that building, so we'd still have to sneak our way through, I think.
Oh, one thing about elevators. Never hide a body up high and then try to spray paint the blood. Don't work.
Okay, I'll remember that. You need to be up on the 50th floor, probably. At least that's where the guy is, Mavi Naran. And that's where the ship will be, but there must be an airship dock or something up there. I'll kind of like lean back and look up the tower and see if I can see an obvious place where an airship would actually like moor or dock or connect. I don't even know how it works.
You can't see it from here, being this close to the building. After about the 15th floor, it does look very expensive in the fact that they have void glass surrounding the entire building, meaning that any portion of this building above the 15th floor can become a screen to project images or whatnot.
I'm sure the neighbors love it.
But for the most part, it stays as just an obsidian knife that is jutting into the sky. It wouldn't surprise you if it has a dock or more that extends out from it, but you can't see it from here.
Yeah.
You can't see once it gets past the 30th floor. It does have those red lights that kind of would signal for airships and whatnot that there's a building here no matter what it's projecting.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I guess we just need to get on board the ship, get the stuff, and get out.
Sounds as easy as dodging a turret in the library. So, what's step one? Getting up there, I guess.
Yeah, I guess getting up there, at least getting the lay of the land. Escaping actually seems like it might be the easiest part, because, I mean, I could probably go down the outside of the building as long as I'm, reasonably careful about it. And, I don't know, will those Zella kicks last that long?
Well, last time I jumped out of a building, I rode light into the ground, then had to double back and help somebody, and then rode it back down. So yeah, I think I'll be fine.
Oh. Okay. Cool. Yeah, then that sounds like that's our escape route. It's just out over the side. I doubt anybody else is going to have an easy time following us.
So, do we need to disguise ourselves as, like, handymen or something?
I mean, I've tried that before. It doesn't always work. But maybe we could be here on legitimate business?
Sparks will look down at himself, then look back up. He goes, I'm not a courier, no matter what the Amma says.
Right, but you might be a courier's apprentice. I don't know.
So is that what you're going to be, is the master courier?
I think we need to get a sense of what else is in this building. See if there's any legitimate reason we can grab a hold of that would take us up that high, or even get us in the elevator. That might be good enough. Since my boss is at war now, kinda, maybe I'm here to see a lawyer.
They laugh, right?
Lawyers? Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of them do. It's just a question of how many layers of lies there are.
At least 10.
Yeah. So yeah, we could just go in and see if there's like, I don't know, a building directory or something. But if we do that, like, they're gonna see us. So we're giving away the fact that we're in the area.
Well, Sparks will look down at himself and look around at the other androids in the area. And I'm assuming none really have the same kind of look he has, so he's gonna kind of stand out as a sore thumb. And then kind of look at his collection of spray paints. He goes, I can try to paint my face.
I don't think that'll make us less recognizable or noticeable.
As you guys are standing here in the morning, these seekers will eventually tidy up. Vehicles will drive away. There's still warning signs out, but you can see Ammon representatives are out there demanding that they create a pathway for people to get into the building.
Oh, so like regular folks who are trying to go to work can't even do that right now.
I mean, it's the weekend, so there's not too many.
Yeah.
But you do see that there are employees that are coming in that have to go work up on the higher floors. I mean, the restaurant has to be staffed, right?
Sure.
Behind you in a tech store playing on the window, You can see snow days going on as they are covering the escalating violence and riots in the Arferi district.
You know, someone might just need to do just a giant music festival. Let everyone just zen out to some really good music. I know a really good DJ. Haven't seen him in a while, though. Think his number's in this phone somewhere.
That sounds cool. I would go to a music concert, I guess. I'm half trying to think about going to the building and half my brain's working on you should go to a concert. It's like, what? What are we talking about right now?
Sparks is actually going to try probably pull out one of the flyers from the last festival back at, what was it? Golden?
Mm-hmm.
And just go and just put it in Oswald's pocket and then just go, this DJ is one of the best.
Huh. Okay. I'll look him up. I guess I will. Now that you successfully managed to capture my attention, I'll pull out the flyer and look at it and see what this thing says.
Yeah, it has DJ Deadbolt playing at the Dream Realm Casino.
Ah, okay. Since we have hours to kill, since this is now capturing my attention, I'll pull out my HCOM and look up DJ Deadbolt and add them to my playlist, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a computer use check as you pull up information upon DJ Deadbolt.
That's not a thing I'm very good at. Except today where I'm burning all my good rolls on my shitty things. So, a 20 on my computer use.
I really feel like you guys are going to Jar Jar Binks your way through this entire adventure. Do you add them to your Ammon Audio app?
Yep.
Yeah, you will see DJ Deadbolt is currently contracted, is playing the rounds for Mavi Naran's birthday.
Oh. Hey, so this guy, I think, might be playing here tonight. Do you know this guy?
Who? Deadbolt? Oh yeah, no, me and him go way back. We've done all sorts of stuff. His agent and his lawyers don't like me, and I just don't understand why. I think it's because every time I go there, I walk out with more swag than they think I got. Sparks is actually going to text whatever number he has that is his normal contact for Deadbolt and see if he can't get in before we have to be there, so it looks like we're there on actual legitimate business. And Sparks looks like someone who would be a roadie.
Mm-hmm. I could pretend to be a equipment hauler.
Yeah, I mean, if you send the text out to Deadbolt, you'd get the message back of, yeah, hey, I'm playing the show for Mr. Naran, but he has me sitting at the VIP booth, so I can't talk too much. Lornalix is with us, though, filming. You remember Lornalix?
He'll text back a thumbs up emoji.
You get a thumbs up emoji.
Sparks will just continue to type on his phone, not talking just yet, and then he'll send out a text to Lorelei, a box, a hand, and a question mark. So, looks like my bud is here, but he's stuck in the VIP lounge doing stuff, artsy, music-y stuff. I don't know, not my thing. He did get me in contact with a woman that we helped get fired and get a better job.
Okay.
She's working the optics, so I sent her a quick question. I don't know if she understands the way I talk to her.
Lornalix's response from the number you have would, of course, be, who is this?
Sparks is literally just going to send in a selfie. So to Oswald, he'll see Sparks literally just pull out the camera, like the whole cheesy thumbs up with the one eyebrow raised, and then send that picture.
Excellent. Yeah, you'd get a response back of, oh, Sparks, hello.
There's a hand emoji, and then do you guys need this? He'll turn the camera and take a picture of the tower. Do you need this place scouted for anything?
Her response back would be that, wait, where are you? No, we don't. We're on the ship already. We're coming across the Amalian Desert now.
He'll send the thumbs up, and then the tower, and then sad-faced emoji. He'll send that.
You'll get back a absolutely confirming yes, question mark?
Yeah, she don't understand me. No one understands Sparks.
Put a ticket emoji and a question mark.
He'll send a ticket emoji. He'll actually group Deadbolt and her a ticket with a question mark.
So for this, go ahead and give me a diplomacy check.
Is this the first diplomacy check through emoji ever?
Oh, this is going to be bad. I only got 2 points in diplomacy.
Diplomacy?
So with a 4, in the group chat you've now made with Lord Alex and DJ Deadbolt, Deadbolt's response, of course, is like, please God, no, don't call them. Don't do this. Lord Alex would once again send back, yes, double question mark?
I don't think I can get tickets to the show. So I think you and I are on our own, boss man. So what goes in this tower? Like, is it a store? Is it a slave place for wagers? Is it like, I don't know, high class cockfights? What?
I mean, I'm not sure how much I actually know about it. I think the impression I have of it is that it's just a new office tower, right?
Correct. Yeah, it was a pet project of Mr. Rayland's
Yeah.
to add more to the city skyline.
Yeah. And I remember even when I was initially hearing that, it's like, that's weird though, because he's already got a big ass tower, and I imagine it's like, didn't you say it's right next door, right across the street?
Correct, from the ziggurat.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know why he needs a second tower. So
Compensating for something?
I guess.
So you don't know what goes on in there, and we need to get to the 50th floor.
Business stuff.
Business stuff does not help Sparks at all. Isn't there like blueprints or something like that?
I will pull up probably like literally Google to see if I can find blueprints for this brand new office tower that is top secret.
Once again, go and give me that computer use check.
Well, this time I got a 4.
Yeah, you guys are just syncing up. Yeah, Oswald, you find yourself stuck in one of those annoying loops of pop-up ad versus hitting back takes you back to the website that you were trying to get out of.
Right.
The Dustblade Tower is meant to be a new focal point for what appears to be, I guess, Ammon's acquisitions. If this country was a sundial, this is the main point. But yeah, you see offices for lawyers, business folk, computers, technicians, technology, all these things. But it does say high-end eating, and it does reference that on the 48th floor, there is its own private Omni-Mart for employees. They don't have to leave the building if they need to do shopping or things like that.
Okay. So it's reasonable for people off the street to come in and maybe explore, especially around up at those top levels, if they want to do, shopping or a nice meal or something.
I mean, I am a little low on some spray paint. You could always just go shopping. And as they walk, Sparks is going to be like, yeah, the last time I did a plan, there was a barbarian that was a bookworm. That plan didn't go too well. I wonder what happened to that phone. That was a nice phone.
It sounds like you have other people you work with sometimes, or do things with. I know you don't work; you just do things.
It was kind of like this, but not. Someone that kind of knew me through someone else needed a hand, and I had 2 of them, so they seemed like it was a good idea.
Sure, I know how that goes. I think it's probably around now that I'm realizing that I don't know if I've actually checked in with Lucius at all. I don't know that I've told him that I got tasked to go do something. So yeah, I'll probably pull out my phone and send a text to Lucius. Ophelia had another job for me. Sounded urgent. Working at Dustblade Tower. And I'll just send that.
Please help stuck with this strange android.
Yeah, as you enter in, it is hard not to notice how fucked this lobby is. Burns on the walls, the stench of, I think, burning meat somewhere, smell of water and melted plastics and metals, shotgun damage. There's a Ammon cleanup crew here, you see, in full gear, hazmat outfits as they're tidying up, but they will have somebody guide you to the elevators. And using the temporary cards given to you in your dossiers, you're able to swipe as they bing and give you access to floors 48 through 50.
All right, up to 48. Let's go see what the fancy Omni-Mart looks like.
I hope it looks better than the first floor. Is that like some kind of avant-garde art thing that these Richies do?
I don't know. Maybe. It looked like an explosion happened, but maybe it's meant to look that way. I'll put my hands up and say, I don't know, business stuff.
Man, rich people got too much time on their hand. Too much money and not enough sense.
Yep.
When we get off, Sparks is going to lean back and then just run his hand down all the buttons.
Not approvingly.
Slapping all them buttons, they're all illuminated as you guys step off, and it begins its eternal descent downward. But here you are on the 48th floor in an official Omnimart. You are approached by a greeter who will come out and offer you warm towels and ask what you're here for, if they need to push the cart for you, if there's something they can help with.
Whoa.
This is, yeah,
Yeah, I'm looking at you like, no, thank you.
Sparks is just gonna do that like sidestep, like eyes still on the guy, just shaking his head no, not saying anything, just that. Now, I think I'll just and just walks off, like kind of backwards, so that he can kind of keep eyes on him.
No, thank you. And I'm like looking around for like one of the carrying baskets that I can grab as I like try and just go in the store.
Yeah, as you do, you're never more than 30 feet away from an Omnimart employee that will approach. And do you need me to hold that for you?
Oh, the worst.
Sparks, every time someone goes up and asks them if they want to, he's just going to take something off the shelf, hand it to him and go, hold this, don't move. It's very, very important. It is eternally important for the safety of the world. Yes.
Yeah. And with that, the employee will, absolutely, sir. And we'll stand there as you guys walk off into a different aisle. It almost feels like you're going through the good duty free.
Mm-hmm.
So it is not hard to find samples of anything you want to try.
Anything that is offered that is free, Sparks is taking.
Yep. I'm eating samples too. Mission is forgotten at this moment.
Easily within 10 to 15 minutes, you guys have both accrued a small collection of tiny sample cups. You're looking for a trash, but really, you know if you just hand it off to an employee, they'll take care of it.
Look for trash. Sparks will finish it and then just find the next shelf and just set it there.
Yeah, by the time you get to the end of an aisle, you'll see an employee has come over and grab them, scoop them, and taken them away.
This is scary. Are they all like brainwashed or something?
I don't know. It's weird.
So, boss man, should we like hide out like in the spy movies? Just go find a bathroom and just hide in a stall with our feet up on the toilet and just wait?
I'll turn to one of the employees and say, excuse me, what are your hours? When do you close?
The Dustblade Omnimart does not close.
Why is this not surprising?
Yeah. Right, because the saving squid never sleeps, right?
The saving squid is always here to help us save.
I'll turn back to Sparks and kind of shrug.
The employee here will look at you and will kind of be candid for a moment. It's like, if you're tired, energy drinks are on aisle 8. I know it helps me get through my 72-hour shifts.
Sparks will slap Oswald on the back. Look at that! Now we can get those bags a little under control.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. And I am probably feeling run down at this point. I'm sure the coffee's worn off. And yep, I'll go over to the energy drink aisle.
Yeah, in the shadow of aisles, you do occasionally see razor grass. But anytime you look at it too long, it goes away.
Mm-hmm. Yep, not real. Keep going.
So at the end, like Sparks will be watching you, just kind of like raise an eyebrows. You kind of seem distant. And once at the energy aisle, he's gonna try finding the most potent energy drink he can get his hands on. So, boss man, so the plan, we gotta get all the way up and make it to the party.
Yeah, well, maybe. I mean, we gotta make it to the ship, and the ship is there for the party, but I don't know if we need to go through the party. Maybe maybe we can go like around the party to get to the ship. I don't know what the layout is up there.
Sparks will just kind of shake his head, like clearly that, Oswald didn't get that he was speaking in code because we are in a store that probably has security everywhere. And just shake his head yes, and just be like, well, if our tickets are for that airship, we need to make sure we are there on a decent time. Check-ins during a party can sometimes be a little difficult to deal with.
Right. So we should be there early. Allow for waiting in the line.
Right. And Sparks is just going to slowly nod his head yes and just start handing Oswald energy drinks.
Yeah, the first one you hand me, I'm actually just going to open it and start drinking it.
One of the nearby employees will see you do so and will give you a smile and a nod, but you'll see that they will make a note on their data pad.
Yep.
Yeah, you see the black can with the sleek, very smooth writing that just says ROS as you drink it.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, maybe there's a lobby up there to hang out in. And, have a nice meal while we're waiting for the airship.
I hope they have hot dogs or corn dogs. The pizza sat a little heavier than I'd like, but it did make me feel all loosed up.
Huh? I didn't notice.
It's grease. I'm a robot. Well, an android. Squeaky wheel.
Oh.
Grease. Eek, eek.
Oh, you don't. Right. I forget that not everybody has the. Yeah.
As the what?
Well, there's a. Yeah, I know it's not a thing that all androids have, so I forget sometimes.
Oh no, Sparks eats. Sparks eats all the time. Junk food's my favorite. I was just making a joke because the pizza was greasy. I'm an android. Squeak, squeak. Joints. Metal on metal.
Right.
After finishing your ROS, your fatigue is gone. Though you do know that when the fatigue comes back, it will be exhaustion.
Yeah.
Based on how this feels, you may be able to keep writing this as long as you keep getting your dose of ROS.
And with that, I'm gonna grab 6 more of those and put them in my little basket.
Yeah, you hand them off to the person standing who's conveniently appeared behind you. There is no basket.
Oh, there was no basket for me to grab. Yeah.
Sparks is just gonna jump in and be like, where'd you come from? Do you just magically appear? Do you have teleportation?
They're still holding the high-end Corleone chocolate rabbit that you handed them 3 aisles back.
Sparks is just gonna stare at them, like lean in real close, narrow eye, just be like, are you real or are you fake?
Go and give me your perception check.
My face will immediately go dead serious.
20.
With a 20, as you look at it, this is the most exquisitely designed android you've ever seen. It is almost a flawless looking human. If you weren't an android, you probably wouldn't be able to catch it, but you can see the very faint circuitry that runs where veins would, very subtly underneath kind of where their eyes and the bridge of their nose, but makes a bit more sense. But at the same time, it is still creepy.
You are the creepiest little android I've ever met. And I've watched a lot of horror type movies in my time. He's gonna take the chocolate bunny, set it where the energy drinks went, and goes, changed my mind on this. And just kind of look at Oswald. I think we need to get to the party before Chucky decides to follow us some more.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm definitely more relaxed what you commented that they were an android. Creepy androids I can deal with.
But it will be deducted from your bank account automatically as you leave the Duskblade Omnimart.
I don't even think Sparks has a bank account.
Good thing you changed your mind on that stupid expensive chocolate rabbit then.
Yeah.
Funny enough, if you left without it, if you left with it, you would have been enrolled in a bank account program.
Oh, awesome. Actually, it's like as soon as we step outside, I'll realize like, oh shit, I forgot, and I'll turn around, go back inside, and go straight for like the pet food aisle. I want to get like some really fancy treats for Cobbler.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sparks is just gonna stand like in the middle of the door, like doing that rock from toe to heel, and just start humming some really obscure techno song, just not caring that he is in people's ways, just being as obnoxious to the rich people as he can.
Other customers here you can see are still in their work uniforms. They obviously come from other floors, other employees. There's a couple of people, of course, that do drift down from the floor above that you can see are, they have towels around their neck. They're wearing kind of tight-fitting gold skin suits as you guys move your way up from the Omnimart. There's an area where you can sit down and look across the entire city if you'd like to eat in their food court.
Sure.
How alone are we? Like, can we talk about the plan, or is there a lot of eyes and ears around?
So the food court does give you that semblance of privacy, right? There's no employee within 30 feet ready to hold something for you. Besides the Lycal that moves around and picks up empty trays and cleans off tables. It's 11 a.m. on a Sunday at a food court in an elite mall. You guys are pretty alone.
So, boss man, I've not the plan in time, and I didn't even read the weird envelope the lizard man gave me. So I'm assuming we're here to acquire something that doesn't belong to somebody that wants it.
Yeah, more or less. I'm supposed to get a painting, and you're supposed to get a piece of a sword.
Can't I just piece of fun? How would they know if it's the right piece?
I think it's a fancy sword. It's something to do with Arashi, which is like this god from centuries ago. I mean, is there like a picture of these things in the dossiers?
Yeah, I mean, you saw your painting, the one of the hallway with the red bricks.
Yeah.
And the many doors. And then the shard of Arashi is, sadly, it's a picture of a shard of metal. So it's not,
Okay.
There's not as much, but you can see it does have kind of a, it looks light. It has a faint kind of wave pattern to it.
I mean, yeah, I figure whoever wants these, they'll probably be able to tell if we just hand them some like random chunk of metal. There's a reason this chunk is special, and when they get a chunk that isn't special, they'll figure it out. So I think we got to be able to sneak onto the ship to find these things. Because it's not, I don't think they're going to be on display or something. I mean, maybe they will be. Maybe these got like some kind of fancy, like, behold my stuff kind of gallery.
Well, most riches do like to show off the trinkets that they have acquired over time. I mean, the book we found was in a fancy library with security systems and security guards and extra guards and a guy that got spray paint in the face.
Yeah. I mean, the last time I did something like this, it was a similar situation where it was like a big party and there was an airship and a bunch of stuff on display, but that was their house and the airship was just like there. Whereas this time, I think it's like the stuff is in the airship and it's traveling with the guy.
Well, what kind of party is this?
Birthday party?
Sparks is gonna look down at himself. He goes, "Nah, I won't fit coming out of a cake."
I mean, if it's a big enough cake.
Yeah, but Sparks doesn't look like the type that would make a good cake dancer.
Maybe.
So, Sparks don't know much about airships and whatnot. Do they need to fuel up? Do they need to empty their toiletries? What are they gonna do while they're here? Besides park and show how fancy they be.
That's a good question. I imagine they've got to I know they're here partly to take on supplies, so they're probably dumping off waste. I don't know what kind of waste an airship produces, but
Poop.
yeah, probably. There might be fuel waste as well. I don't know how they fly.
Can we sneak inside a crate?
Ooh.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a little low tech, but sometimes it works.
Well, I mean, if they're bringing on supplies, that's going to be just like regular laborers doing that work. And if these folks are fancy, they aren't going to want to see the laborers doing their work. So that helps shield us from view. Maybe we are laborers just moving stuff onto the ship.
Yeah. You got that tiredness of a laborer, and I've got the attitude of a laborer. So between the two of us, we should be okay.
Sure. And I'll like thumb at the thing on my back and saying, this can be like safety equipment, right? That's a reasonable thing that somebody would have if they're loading things on an airship.
I mean, if you're good, yeah, they want to keep you around. If not, I mean, it's not hard to make a body disappear.
Well, yeah, but a body falling from 50 stories up kind of makes a big mess on the sidewalk down below. Right in front of the fancy folks as they're trying to go in the tower. So it's like, I don't think they care about the fall. I think they care about the location of the fall.
Well, if you fall, aim for the biggest thing down there. That way, at least you take something out with you.
Right, one of those spooky black PHVs.
Yeah.
Here in the food court, you can see the 49th floor is Soul Sculptors, an exercise floor.
Huh.
It's like jazzercise, but with more steps.
I'm looking at the two of us and say, we could pass off like we're just shoppers in a fancy Omni Mart, but I think we would stick out more on that floor. I'm struggling for a reason why we would be there.
Maybe we could find a freight elevator?
Well, I mean, we could probably just skip floor 49 and go straight to 50, right? Does the elevator stop at 50? Is 50 the top floor?
50 is as high as that elevator goes.
Okay.
From being this high up, you know you're not at the top. There's probably about 5 more floors past 50. But your elevator did not go there.
Then yeah, I think freight elevator's the way to go then. Because there's going to be, if they're bringing supplies onto the airship, they're bringing them from somewhere.
Well, the ground.
Well, yeah, but there's got to be like a storage area or something somewhere up here.
Well, there is an Omnimont. An Omnimont's got to have storage somewhere. Unless they just, do the whole Star Trekkie thing where they just make it magically appear.
Oh, just T-port all their stuff in?
It's either that or it's all dehydrated, they added water, and then it becomes solid again. I don't know. Sparks watches a lot of TV. All right, let's see if we can find a freight elevator. See if we can find some way to go above floor 50 and see what's up there. Works for me. So do we want to go through the Omnimart and try for like their storage room?
Gosh, I bet whatever hallway the restrooms are down, that's probably also where like maintenance and freight elevators and like employee areas are gonna be.
Yeah, that would be true. So to the bathrooms.
As you finish up at the food court and go begin exploring down towards employee bathrooms, you will find the freight elevator. Though your cards, your passes, meant for the main elevator were not intended for this, you will see with a quick swipe, the light goes from red to green.
This seems a little too easy.
Mm-hmm.
Who hired us again? I didn't read that paperwork.
I'm on.
Okay, now it's even more fishy, but okay. So, up and away?
Yeah, I guess so. And now that you're framing it that way, it's like, yeah, this is their tower. Why don't they just do this?
Plausible deniabilities.
I
You
guess.
should know this how the corpse work. I thought you said you had a boss. Doesn't he have, like, deniable assets?
But there's like a paper trail for all of this. You know, that's how we get the jobs. So, who are they plausibly denying it from? They can't dig into the paper trail.
You keep the paper? I just chuck it in a fire bin.
No,
and
I
done.
don't. But like, I don't know. Like, remember how you were looking for like blueprints of buildings? Like this is falling in that same category, right? Like somebody can go track down the paper.
I mean,
Whatever.
technically.
We're doing a thing. We're getting paid for it. It's somebody else's problem to figure out the after effects.
all right then. Sparks is gonna look over the buttons and push the one for whatever. What floor do we want to go to? Do we want to just head to the top, or do we want to head to the bottom? What's the plan?
I don't know. Let's check 51.
Sparks will hit 51.
51 as the doors open. This is a bustling area of employees moving about, gathering items as they are heading towards elevators to go down to various floors to distribute them. This looks like kind of the storage office. So, pens, writing tablets, data pads, all of it is stored here.
Okay.
So this is the supply room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think this is the floor we need.
Yeah, I guess not.
Unless you need yourself a new like tablet, pen, printer ink. You have a boss. Yeah, you get yourself some printer ink and some pens. You know, get on his good side or gooder side. Everyone needs printer ink.
I don't know if Lucius has a good side. I think he just has an annoyed side and a less annoyed side.
I feel like I would end up on the annoyed side just by greeting him. I
Yeah,
don't take that idea.
I can never tell what side of his I'm on.
Sparks is going to hit the next floor, and as it goes up, he is going to hum some like Ammon commercial so that there's sound in the elevator.
Alrighty, on the 52nd floor, this is the executive lounge.
Mm.
You get there fine seats, high-end alcohol, variety of designer, and kind of fun drugs. There's nobody really up here at the moment except for a few employees that are waiting for patrons to serve. But as the door opens, you can see it flawlessly blends in with the wall up here, meant to be unnoticeable from any of the people sitting if they were up here talking and enjoying themselves. So as you guys kind of like pop your heads out, you can be like, oh, okay, I see where we're at. But normally you couldn't see this freight elevator if you were enjoying the amenities here.
He put a lot of effort into hiding this.
I mean, I get it, right? Like, you don't want to be reminded that there's work going on behind the scenes if you're some rich schmuck in the lounge. So if you make it look like it's just a servant appears from behind a corner or something, then that feels better.
That's just creepy. He's gonna lean in and just push the next floor up.
Yeah.
Floor 53, it opens into a desk where there's a single guard sitting at it. Behind it, you see rows and rows of data pads and computers. People all about looking at screens as the guard will look up and, is there something I can help you with? It appears that you're on a surveillance floor.
Nope. Next floor.
Yep.
The 54th floor, there is one lizard folk here in a fine suit centered in the middle of this empty floor. There's windows all about that look out onto the city. At this height, you are the highest point in the Empire as you're looking about, but there is a large circle on the floor with various arcane runes that are glowing faintly as the lizard folk will going somewhere. Not in a threatening way.
Sparks is just gonna look at Oswald and just slowly reach for the next floor button.
Yeah. Yep. Was just like back into the elevator.
And 55, which is the last button here, does not allow you to go up to it.
So like we press the button and nothing happens.
Sparks is going to hit the closed door button and then look up. Is there a hatch above us?
There is.
Sparks is going to look at Oswald, look at the hatch, look at Oswald, and then just point at the hatch with a shrug.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could go up there and see what's up there.
Well,
I could also see if I can force the elevator to do what we want.
oh, you good with computers? Because I ain't.
No, but I'm good with like machinery,
Mhm,
tinkering with
well.
stuff, stuff like that. Maybe I can like get behind this panel and I don't know, fool with the wiring, get it to take us up to 55.
All right, I guess do that.
Give it a shot anyway.
I mean, the worst that'll happen is we plummet 50 floors and go splat.
Right. And I'm looking, it's like there's an emergency stop button on this thing, isn't there?
There definitely is one in the freight elevator.
So yeah, I guess I'm gonna start jimmying with the panel and trying to convince this keycard reader that we do in fact have access to 55.
All right, go ahead and give me that check.
What do you think about disable device for this check?
Yeah, go ahead and give me disable device.
Can I
Okay.
assist in that?
Yeah, I'll let you aid. We're going to set the DC on this one at 30.
Okay. Remember how we used all those good rolls earlier when we were like
Yeah.
learning about dead gods and doing some shopping?
Yeah, as you try to help him out with it, the elevator completely stalls.
Yeah.
I guess that means no one will be using this elevator. Sparks is going to start climbing the wall to get to the grate.
Yeah. I'll imagine I'll just like shoot a grappling hook into the ceiling of the elevator and just like zip up there and start fooling with the panel to get it out.
Cheetah.
Well, yes.
With your disabled devices, it's not hard for you guys to get past this grate, kind of unscrew and push it up before you get on top of the elevator here. You can see the door for floor 55 is about 2 floors up from you.
Wait, weren't we on just 54? Does that
Mhm.
mean they have a 54 and a half floor?
Is there a door, an elevator door between 54 and 55?
There's not.
Okay. Was
Well-
54 like extra tall where the ceiling's extra high on 54?
It was not.
Did they just make a blank floor just to make it slightly bigger?
I mean, okay, what if 55 is like a penthouse, right? But there's like a downstairs to the penthouse you can only get from inside like the normal floor? That could be a thing, right?
Yes.
Like if your apartment had a basement, right?
Wouldn't that just mean you live in a 2-story building?
Yeah, I guess.
Sparks is going to start moving like around quick to get his movement, and then he's going to use his ability to kind of kick up the wall to start parkouring up.
I'm gonna watch you do this so I can see what you're capable of.
Between the two of you, it's not hard for you guys to get up to the closed 55th floor door.
Mm.
You're on the inside of an elevator shaft. There's enough to probably one of you to press yourselves up against that door, right? There's a bit of a lip or an edge there you can place your feet on.
Mhm.
But it's definitely tough. But there is a panel, right? For safety reasons, they have to include a way to be able to get in or get out if things got stuck.
So hit the button, slip inside, and go find a place to hide.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if this is the floor we want to do that on though. But we won't know that till we see what's in there.
Sparks is gonna look up to see if we are at the top of the elevator shaft.
You are at the top of the elevator shaft.
Well, unless there's some like funky Willy Wonka stuff going on, we're at the top of the building.
Well, we're at the top of the freight elevator shaft.
All right, talking about shafts and stuff like that. Let's get going. Just I guess hit the button and see what's going on.
Yep.
The door slides open. You're looking down a long hallway with about 8 doors on each side. At the end of it is a single reinforced 10-foot tall, 16-foot wide black door made of metal. There's a single desk in here of which a guard sits. Though looking at the guard, you can see that this is not your standard. You see the APD symbol on it. They're rare to run into, but this is the Ammon Protection Division. The guard wears a oversized helmet that does fit with its large body, though it does not look entirely human, or maybe this is the biggest lizard folk or Corlean you've ever seen.
Hmm.
The oddest thing about this is you can see all of the corners in this hallway, all of where the hallway meets the next door, all of this is rounded, smooth edges. There's no angles here at all. The robotic voice would, "Who are you?"
Workers.
Yeah, workers.
Go and give me a bluff.
Oh Holy crap! All right, I got a 24.
I got a 31.
Amazing.
The protection division guard doesn't get up, but places two massive hands on the desk. You can see the iron wrappings that cover it from elbow down to knuckles as they kind of thrum as it strikes the top of the desk when it places its hands there. Is there a delivery?
We were told we were supposed to check out the spot the airship's gonna land. Apparently, we got some crates that are a little bulkier than they should be. Something about special request from the birthday person.
If you're looking for the equipment for the visitor, it is on floor 51.
I'm gonna look at Oswald and go, "See, I told you that was a 1. You know, our boss really needs to start writing better." And Sparks is just gonna start walking into the elevator like it's there.
Yeah, I'll make it like a show of like rubbing my eyes, like I'm super tired, and that's why I made a mistake. And then I will try and casually follow you towards the open elevator shaft.
Once inside the shaft, Sparks is going to wait for Oswald and then push the door close and just go, "That's not what I expected to see." Floor 51 then?
Yeah, I guess so. We sort of find where the actual dock is, but
What if the dock is 51? What if they want that airship just high enough for everyone to see?
yeah, that would make sense. Like there's probably like maybe there's like, I don't know how big these things are, but maybe there's like 2 docks, right? There's like a service dock and then there's a passenger dock.
Maybe. Sparks is going to make his way down to the elevator.
Yeah.
So, boss man, did you fully break the elevator? Are we stuck with the creepy circle floor, or can we go down?
I will press 51 and see what happens.
It does allow it to go down.
Okay, good. So of course I didn't break it.
All right.
It just wouldn't go any higher.
I mean, we've all been there.
Stuck in an elevator at the top of a tower?
Sure, we'll go with that, boss man.
As you guys return to floor 51, you will see the employees moving about, gathering boxes, pushing dollies, getting stuff ready. In the background, you can hear, obviously, people chatting, the sounds of commotion, things being moved around. Occasionally, you hear like either an animal squeal or something further back in here, but nobody seems to pay attention to 2 people dressed as, well, effectively couriers.
So we find out what's getting loaded and blend in.
Yeah. Let's look around for a clipboard or a data pad or something that's got anything that looks like a manifest or a shipping list or a task list. Just start pretending like we're doing work.
Do these tablets look like they are like, you know how some offices and schools have those like steel plates on them that like you can't peel off? Do these data pads and stuff like have those?
Correct. Yeah, they'd all be marked as Ammon property.
Are these the nicer, cheap, clicky pens, or are they just like actual like high end pens that are also branded?
Oh, high-end pens, branded. They write like silk.
Sparks is actually going to swipe a couple of them.
Yeah.
Like make it look like he is gathering up the supplies for whatever job he's doing.
I'll find
Yeah.
like some fancy looking gift bags to bring over to you to start like distributing them into the bags.
Yeah, you can see that occasionally they have different floor markers saying for like, this business needs this, right? You open that door, it's supplies for them that are specific to them. There's a general supply area for, pens, papers, markers, staples, all that stuff.
I have a question that might make this a lot more interesting for people. Are these digital tags, or are they like, how they'll just slip in a piece of paper behind like an acrylic thing? Like, this is going to be storage for 51, but it's like what the manifests are.
Looking at the names on the doors, you can see that they're written in fine ink from a well-made pen. This is written on the door with the same pens you've jacked.
I'm pretty sure I can't replicate nice handwriting.
I doubt my handwriting is very nice.
Go ahead and give me your perceptions as you guys search about the area.
E is for perception.
22.
26.
Yeah, with the 22, Oswald, you're keeping a good job of staying at pace. You're not getting in anyone's way. You're able to follow the doors easy enough. You're able to lead both of you to where there is a section that is set aside for temporary shipments, ones that don't refer to a floor. With the 26, Sparks, you're able to find the one that is marked for Naran. This crate looks like it's set up with water, new forks, napkins, all of the kind of amenities and things that you'd really want to have mid-party, right? That you're going to swap out that's been used over the last trip they were taking down here. But you see, on this manifest here is a variety of things, but it also says food will be supplied by Floor 50, which is a super high-end restaurant called Ovanis by Jin. You can see that there are live animals tucked onto this plate as well that are part of what is going to be shipped on.
You think these animals are for petting or for snacking?
I'm gonna take a closer look. I'm also curious about the answer to that question. Like, what does it seem like these animals are gonna be used for?
They're all listed under edible.
Ooh. And what kind of animals are we looking at here?
It looks like young onyx deer, young cythalopes, gathered from the Verdant Isles, from the Corlean Woods. Extremely high-end exotic animals that will be prepared by a professional chef and served to fancy people.
Huh.
You can
This
see
is-
the blinders on like a basilisk that's like half sedated.
Yeah.
Is this room sealed?
This is like a hallway on the side of other rooms. So like there's people passing by, but this is all just like lumped on a giant crate that will be pallet lifted and then scooted to the ship. So you can see this is eventually, especially with year 26, that one of the docks is here that will be extended when the ship arrives.
I'm gonna look at Oswald and kind of lower my voice. So, this thing's got blinders on. How hard do you think it would be to rig it to where when they go to cook it, the blinders just happen to fall off?
Seems like something that could be done.
How
I mean,
good of an
okay,
idea does
but
that
hold
seem?
on though. Like, I mean, sure, I like the hijinks part of it, but like the person that's actually gonna affect is just some poor schlub who's like a cook in a kitchen, you know?
Yeah. Sparks is gonna look at you and just get this kind of wily smile as he begins to spray paint himself to look like an art piece, and then just literally just get into the crate and sit as still as possible because I think it might be easier for one person to sneak in than both.
Sure. Yeah, I've seen the living art piece gambit before.
So you see Sparks just start pulling spray paints out of just random pockets, spray painting himself just as neatly as possible.
All right. Yeah, I think that works. I don't know. You're gonna have to scribble some kind of like title for yourself on this for this crate.
I'm gonna come up with some bull crap name and then like put like the artist, quote unquote artist signature on the bottom of my foot.
Sign your own name on the bottom of your foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a stealth.
Yeah. How's a 30 sound?
A nat 20 on it with a 30? Beautiful. Various employees nearby, of course, are like, oh my God, why is this guy spray painting in the middle of the hallway? You're able to sit yourself into a crate near the passed out basilisk amongst the various other supplies and gear here that's meant for the Naran ship.
As I slowly close the crate door, I'm just gonna look at Oswald and just go stare and go, everything floats up there, and just slowly close the crate.
All right, Oswald, you have about 5 hours until the ship's here.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna try and just like stay here next to the crate, and if anybody asks, just say I'm supposed to watch this crate to make sure this one gets on the ship safely.
Perfect.
This
Go
one's
and give me a
special.
bluff.
Yeah.
Nobody really gives a shit because
Right.
you're another worker person, right?
I got a 16.
So that'll pass for here, right? There's no guards here. These are all employees gathering things for various floors. They're not going to stop. And the longer you stand there, the less weird it gets.
Right. And I don't look like I'm trying to get into anything or do something I'm not supposed to do. I'm just here.
Yeah. With the exception of the occasional purring you feel in your coat and the meow that comes out.
Probably at some point get into one of the boxes labeled food. And oh no, all the food's coming from the restaurant, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any like non-restaurant like snacky stuff maybe?
You'll see a bag of chips get shoved out through the top of the box.
Awesome. Yep. Me and Cobbler will split some chips.
There is easy access to vending machines and amanitos if you would like some spicy puffed corn snacks.
That'll work.
But as the time clicks by, is like I said, as longer you stand there, the less employees get suspicious because you said you're here to watch the stuff. After an hour and a half, you're still watching the stuff. The bluff fades away as far as the lie.
Yeah, at a certain point, it's just true. I am being paid to stand here and watch this crate.
With that, time clicks by.
At some point, I'll return the favor and like send some water into the crate for Sparks. I know he doesn't need it, but it's still nice to have.
The clouds roll in as you can hear the rain pattering on the void glass windows. Eventually, you'll get the signal as another two employees come around the corner of, "Oh, we need to move this crate." And they see you there. And do you want to go get the push cart?
I'm supposed to stay here and keep eyes on this crate. I tell you what, you go get the push cart, and I'll load this crate up on it, and I'll take it onto the ship.
Yeah, they look at each other and roll their eyes like, "Oh my God."
I'm just doing what I'm told, man.
Helpful as always. And they will wander off, get the push cart. They'll get on both sides of it as you hear them jack it up a bit as it boosts off the ground.
I'll take control of the push cart to move the cart from here, the crate from here on.
Perfect. The Lycal here with their data pad will check off, go down a list of, looks like we have one box too many, but eSparks, you'll see a Lycal as their hat and blue skin kind of pokes over as they look in and see you sitting in there.
I'm in some really, really what would be considered uncomfortable position for most, just completely still.
Yeah, whatever. It's
Yeah. Look at the guy sitting shrugs like, I don't know, rich folks art, right?
accessory.
Accessory.
You guys will load up before you guys drop down to floor 50. It feels
Yep.
a little awkward. They've definitely set up a series of kind of rice paper walls and small screens so nobody can see you guys loading, but you can hear people dining here. You hear the shrill scream of maybe an animal being killed at the table as the chef then proceeds to cook, and you hear like sizzling meats. You can smell, I mean, the flavors are, you can smell so many tasty things happening on the other side of this that you can't see.
Mhm.
But you guys will be loaded upon the massive ship belonging to Mavi Naran. As you guys are getting on there, you'll see that they're stopping here at Ovanis by Jin. Not so much to eat here, but they are literally paying and bringing on chefs as well as employees
Mhm.
to serve the ship while they do their tour through the Dargath Empire.
Okay.
As you guys load up, you find yourselves into an extremely large, extremely posh airship. The heater engine whir fades into white noise behind you as people move about, unloading things. You see them cleaning out the restrooms, removing bag of holdings and putting in new ones.
Wow. Those are some expensive toilets.
Awesome. Those things do have limits too. Like,
They do.
so when you reach that limit, it's like, oh shit, there's a lot in this bag.
Up above, maybe a floor or two. It's hard to tell. You guys are being loaded right now into a section of the ship that you can't see more parts, right? There's no windows here. This is a storage area.
Mhm.
But you can feel the base. And Sparks, you can recognize that tune. You were listening to it earlier at the Fuzzy Bugbear. That's a DJ Deadbolt original. But as the bass vibrates through the box, and while you guys are there, the Lycal and their compatriot will, once they load everything on, are you still watching the box?
I'm supposed to actually take the art into the gallery or display area, I guess.
It's on the ship, not a problem. Sign here.
Yep, I'll double thumbs up, say I got it from here. I'll figure it out. And I'll do some like squirrely, like not even really a scribble.
They'll take both of the pallet lifters, take them off the ship,
Mhm.
as you'll get jerked about a bit for a moment as the airship takes off.
Oh, okay.
Once we're alone, Sparks is going to peek his head up and goes, I thought we were going to stay docked down this whole thing.
So did I.
Well, yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yes, I suppose we will.
As he climbs out and just kind of dusts himself off, but really it doesn't do anything because everything is spray painted. So, I guess you're supposed to take me to the gallery?
I guess. I figured that's probably where, this guy's fancy stuff would be, right? Especially art. Art you want to display to show it off, right?
Art to me is music, so I guess?
Well, painting anyway. Painting you'd want to show off.
I just like tagging buildings, especially corporate ones. So, to the gallery.
Yeah. I know there's not going to be a map, but there might be like in a hotel, there's that like floor plan for like a case of evacuation type thing. I'm hoping I might find something like that tells me gives me an indication of where something like a gallery might be.
With the thrum of the engine in the background, the heavy bass above. There's 3 floors here. There is a gallery on the third one. The top deck is the event deck, where you assume most people are. And look at the second floor is the kitchens and kind of staff area.
Okay, yeah, I guess we'll start heading towards what we think is the gallery.
So should I hold up with the whole I'm a statue bit and you put me on a cot and push me, or do we just want to walk this?
I think you could be like a living art piece, right? That's something that rich people would pay for.
I mean, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Like you're being paid to stand there and look like art. But we have to get you to the place. It doesn't make sense for me to carry you. You could walk.
Maybe I wanted to be carried. Well, let's get going. Time's a burning.
From our stowage area, as you pass down from stowage to the event deck, you see the wide expanse of the deck of all the people out there dancing, partying. You see DJ Deadbolt at the far front of the ship playing music as people dance and drink. You can see Mavi Naran out there laughing, sitting at a VIP table as various liquors and whatnot are being brought out. People are having fun.
I'm gonna snap a photo and send that to Deadbolt. Just this really bad picture of him from like on the other side of the building, just that like proof I was there.
I didn't need your tickets anyway.
Exactly.
Especially on the stairway, on the stairwell down, you'll pass by a halfling in a well-done serving uniform. You can see that they have like a copper paint put over their skin, as well as kind of a copper wig and a copper fake beard. The markings on their uniform mark them as from Vice Catering, and their name says Roy.
Oh, God. Oh.
But once they see you guys, they'll put away the cigarette that they were trying to sneak and, oh, sorry, and they'll let you pass.
I'll wink and say, sorry for what?
Yeah, he'll wink back and go for a high five.
I will. Oh, fuck. I'll provide the high five.
Sparks will try to steal the high five from Oswald.
The halfling will find themselves a quiet area away from prying eyes to light up a smoke. As you guys pass the music floor, as you get down to the second level here with staffing, you can hear the kitchens, the fire. You can see they're bringing in the basilisk. They have the young does of the onyx deer as a multi-tiered Chef Hat Michael is yelling and pointing and commanding this like a battlefield.
I don't want to get involved in the battlefield kitchen.
You know, this would make a really good reality show, at least for one season.
I'd watch it.
The third floor feels like you've walked into a different world. Globes illuminate this with natural lighting. There's trees growing into the side of the ship. It's like you walked into an orchard, even done up with living animals that are moving about. You see in a fashionable dress, an artistic piece, a halfling will kind of approach looking at both of you of, hello and welcome to the gala. Is there something I can help with?
I'm supposed to bring this art to the gallery.
Sparks is going to strike a very dramatic pose and just go, I'm a pretty boy.
And I'll like fumble in my pocket, like pulling out like a, invoice or whatever from the manifest. Which just has like scribbles on it because it was Sparks that wrote it. Do I look like I'm a connoisseur of fine art? No. I'm the schlub who's gonna walk this art around.
Her finely coiffed hair does seem to like one springs out of place for a moment as she's trying to maintain the facade of professionalism and okay. She looks at the manifest. She looks at Sparks. Well, Mavi does like their eclectic things. Do you have a timeline or plane you come from? Something that we're supposed to record?
Well, like I said, I am, he strikes in the same pose, a pretty boy.
Go and give me your bluff.
Bluff, don't fail me now. 35.
Nice. If you just roll 20s, you can make anything happen.
Though Astarius Levenfield, the art coordinator for Mavi Naran, does not understand why the fuck you're here or what you even represent, she'll, okay, we have a pretty boy display. Follow me. Yeah, and so as you guys are led across this small orchard built into the third floor of this airship as it continues along, the multicolored rabbits, the small rodents, in fact, actually, you're kind of noticing all of these are all adorable animals, like the things you'd release from a giant robot in a Sonic game after you defeat it. But the animals look at you as though they may be a bit more intelligent, like some pull at your leg or some try to get your attention, but you guys are in the middle of this, right? You don't have time for that. She will walk you back to where plants would part, right? There's a vine trellis that drips over, covering the next half of the gallery. Standing here, there are 2 guards, both of them wearing kind of exquisite, unique armors that are in a design that doesn't fit anything you've seen. One of them, their armor looks grown upon them, leaf patterns, trees, branches, kind of things like that. The other one, layers and layers of like ceramic plating that kind of cover them from head to toe. One human, one Corlean, but she'll call out, Tressel, do you mind moving that aside? And the Corlean woman will pull the vines over as you guys enter in to this long hall. Well, hall isn't fair. It would be effectively a hall, but once again, it feels like you've stepped into a different area entirely, where you've now left the orchard of soft grass and cute animals. You're in kind of a seascape. Void glass that covers the inside of the walls provides an ocean view of what would be somewhere probably, I don't know, if you guys have knowledge geography, you might be able to guess where this is.
I have it, but it's not great. 16?
But E-Sparks, as you look upon it, you think this might be somewhere north of Shern. I don't know, it's looking up in a direction that it just seems odd. Like this is a very distant place. But the sand feels real, and you swear you can smell the salt water. Upon this beachscape, there are 8 daises, and at the end of it, a single door. It does not look complex. It is fairly standard, a white door with a handle. Looks like you'd find it in any kind of residential setting, though the frame of the door is weathered and broken apart a bit. Stains upon it, though it's been built in and looks like reinforced at this end of the boat to be part of the ship. It doesn't look like it would go anywhere. There's no more ship left. Upon these daises, though, you see from your dossier the shard of the blade of Arashi, as it is sitting upon it, floating about half a foot above. You see the arcane runes built in the top of the dais that keep it there. There's a exquisitely ornate obsidian and gold helmet. And normally you'd be like, I have no idea what that is, but both of you actually recognize that helmet as the same helmet as the guy on floor 55. You see a branch of a tree. The leaves of it, though, are silver, almost platinum. There's another kind of crystalline structure. It's various angles floating above. The next, a multicolored, almost humanoid shape. Like, it actually does look, funny enough, similar to your spray-painted metallic body. But it looks like a skin, though it ripples and seems to breathe on its own. There's a chunk of wood, white, though half of it is stained with a dark red. There is the painting of a hallway of red bricks and gray doors. And then the last dais has a obsidian spearhead that's broken on one half. Astarias here, as she tucks back the hair that kind of sprang out of place, will look around a bit before she walks over and moves one of the daises over and let's see here. Pretty boy, why don't you go? And she'll look around for a bit. Yes, actually, you'll go perfect right here. And she'll ask Oswald for help as she moves the daises further back, but puts you directly across from the symbiotic skin. Says, yes, this will create the balance I need. This will look good.
Why, thank you. I thought I looked good.
Excellent.
Is it just the 2 of us and Astarias at this point?
Correct, though you can see the back end of the vine trellis that was pulled aside by the one dressed in leaf armor.
Mm-hmm.
They still have it pulled aside, and they're still standing there being able to look in.
Okay, so we're observed, but yeah, they're over there.
Correct.
As I'm helping move a dais, I'll ask, like, where's that door go?
Oh, that's Mavi's door. Don't worry about it.
Shrug. So it goes, like, outside?
She'll... Oh, no. She'll step back as she looks at Sparks and do the pose again.
Sparks is gonna go into the pose again.
How big is the painting?
Let's go with your classic 48 by 24.
Okay. In a frame, I assume?
Yes. Yeah, she'll eventually settle on having Sparks face towards the helmet as his pose flows with it and leads people to look at the next display. She seems pretty proud with this before. All right, worker, you can return. The event and auction isn't for another hour after dessert is served. So, upon that, you'll hear 3 dings, and I expect you to be in position and ready.
Right, I can do that.
Good.
I might need a little help just touching up the butt. I can't see my butt to fix the paint. getting transported around, sometimes chips to paint, and we want to make sure that I am just as pristine as I was requested to be.
I'll look at Astarius and just shrug. He's been like this the whole time.
I mean, if you don't want me to be he's going to strike the pose, the prettiest of boys for everyone to see, I mean, that's on you.
She'll do two things here. One, she'll look at Oswald and touch him up.
Okay. I'm going to reach into...
Two, she will look at you, Sparks, and be like, and why do you think I have you facing this way?
Because you know exactly how to make the light shine just perfect. You are, my friend, very skilled at what you do.
And she will nod. My job is to hide imperfections.
Ouch.
So I'm going to reach into Sparks' pockets and look for some paint.
You'll find raffle tickets, random keys that you don't know where they come from, bits and pieces of different cell phones, and then, like, paint.
Yeah. And I assume this is like a can of spray paint?
Yeah.
So I'm really curious how Astarius is going to react when I pull a can of spray paint out of Sparks' pocket as though I'm going to touch him up here in the middle of this gallery.
She stands there, look at you, look at him.
All right. So I'm going to, like... I guess I'm going to maneuver around to Sparks' butt. And I'm going to do my best to, like... I don't know, contain the spray, like, with my own arms or whatever. So I'm doing this weird, like, hug of his butt. And, like, trying to, like, spray, like, into the circle my arms are making.
I am impressed with how well you guys called it. Once we get on the ship, that's when everything will go sideways. And now you guys are just butt hugging, and there's no phrasing to be involved. It's just... There's no illusion here. We've immediately gone to this moment. So... Go ahead.
I don't even know if there's a roll here. I literally don't know what I'm doing. I'm just spraying his butt with paint.
So, whichever stat you'd like to use, int whiz, whether it's profession artist, craft painting, or that you're going to attempt to touch up your friend's butt.
Sure. Sounds like we're going with a straight this roll to me.
You will notice your back foot here the sand is actually wet on this side. So there is like either a layer, or maybe they have like a running saltwater edge a bit.
Okay. Huh. Weird.
Go ahead and give me your wisdom check as you attempt to touch up the butt.
I got a 4. She called it correctly earlier when she called me worker. That's different from painter. But she told me to do it, so I'm doing it.
Okay. I was trying to think of, like, maybe I could use sleight of hand to try to help you, but I don't think at a 4 I could help.
So, I honestly can't even imagine what the aid check would be as you attempt to twerk in the best location for the spray paint. That's right, everybody. I'm running a serious campaign here.
Hey, you knew what you were getting into bringing me back.
Oh, I think pairing Oswald with you was a great choice. With a 4, this goes absolutely awry. As far as I actually know from your entire backstory as a character, Oswald has never held or used a can of spray paint in his life.
Nope. Like, the closest I might have done is like a can of spray air or something.
Yeah, you might have had to air dust someone's computer before because they asked you and they showed you where to hold it.
Yeah, or like a can of WD-40 on like a bike chain, something like that, you know? But for that, it's like you just spray it down.
And Oswald has learned from WD-40 with bike chains, you just spray it down.
Yeah.
So, we're left for this moment with Oswald and Sparks' butt, both becoming neon multi-striped. And part of Oswald's face, a lot of his jacket, a little bit of a cat. And spray paint is everywhere. It's on legs, it's on the sand. Astarius starts to lose her shit.
Yeah. She should. She should realize, she should have realized it was a mistake before she had me do it.
Silence fills this beachscape hallway as she looks at you, looks at Sparks. What have you done?
I did what you told me to do.
I forgot what I mentioned to ruin it.
I'm just the worker. I didn't make this art.
Sparks is going to kind of look at his backside and just be like, I think you need to add a little pink in there. I think that might make it better. And Sparks is going to hand Oswald a smaller spray paint that has kind of like the WD-40 nozzle on it, the straw, and go, just give it a little pizzazz, a little sparkle. Just think of what it looks like when the night is full of stars. That's what you're going for. And I'm going to roll a bluff check that this is salvageable for her to calm down and go away.
Alrighty, go and give me that bluff.
32. That is, 17 on die? Yeah, 17.
We're now going to include her full plus 10, her normal plus 10, versus her plus 10 for does not believe this. She is at full, I need to salvage this. So she kind of wants to believe you, but at the same time, at this point, she really wants to eject Oswald off the side of the ship.
Awesome.
She focuses in a way that key masters can barely attain. And she breathes in, breathes out. You watch all of her toes curl into the sand before releasing it as she says, yes, this can work, but I'm going to move you.
Sparks is just gonna nod, and you are the master of this garage.
She'll push you up towards the front. She tells Oswald to move daises accordingly.
Yep. Happy to do that.
Shifting the entire layout. But if you were to walk in, you can see there's a very natural flow now between branches to artifice to creations, all the way back around to Sparks. As now you're opposing the branch and the shard of white wood with red stains. She stops and looks at it, goes and stands by the door at the very end. And she likes the story it seems to tell to her, I guess. As she'll walk back towards the vine trellis and Oswald and Sparks and points at Oswald. And, you're excused.
I'll nod and I'll turn and walk out.
She is barefoot in both, so yeah. As she walks back towards it, she'll shift from sand to grass with Oswald as the guards here, with their exquisite armors and fancy blades, will let the trellis drift back. As Sparks, you are standing here in a room with various artifacts and a weird door. The smell of salt water, distant cry of seagulls, which are being projected over the speaker system here, and the globes, which kind of drift around, providing ambient light that feels comforting and warm.
All right. I have no clue what to do now. So the door is behind me. Is there like a keyhole in it? Like, is it like that classic doors with the keyhole, or is it like more of a modern day door?
Modern day door. There's no keyhole though. There's no like tab you turn to lock it or anything.
I'm gonna walk over and crack it a little bit to peer inside to see what's in there.
Yeah, as you approach the door, stand crunching underneath your metallic feet, and open it. It opens into, well, the back part of the ship. It doesn't go anywhere. It literally is a door in a frame.
I'm going to close the door and kind of raise an eyebrow at that.
You notice as you close it, maybe you didn't catch it when you opened it, the runes do a quick flash around the outside edge of this frame, but they seem to trigger when you close and open it, but nothing seems to happen.
Raise an eyebrow to that. I have no knowledge of magic. It is just fancy finger wriggling to me. I'm going to text Oswald that the door leads to a wall that I assume is the outside. And then text shrug emoji, and then what now?
All right. I imagine I'm getting walked back by Astarius at this point.
She walks you through the orchard. She will tell you to return to the second floor of the storage, whatever you people do. But she will sit down at it's not odd to conceive, but it is odd to see as she does sit down at an invisible desk chair, right? Like the area she's in is tucked away, so it shouldn't interfere with the flow of people coming to and from.
Yeah.
But obviously where she waits is she is sitting at an invisible desk.
Right, because they don't want a desk cluttering up the visual space.
Correct.
Okay. Are there windows in this place?
Not on this floor of the ship.
Okay, neither the beach nor the orchard.
Correct, yeah. There's the void glass that is all about it, that helps give it that visual larger expanse.
Right.
But there's no windows you can actually see.
Okay. All right. My plan is to go head back towards the second level, and ideally off to where that halfling with the cigarette was, because I saw they were kind of like moving off to someplace where they were going to be more out of sight and out of the way. I would also like to be out of sight and out of the way. So I'm going to head that way and then check my phone. Text back that we need the shard and the painting. There's no windows. There's no way out of where you are except the way we came in, unless you make a hole in the ship.
You're gonna see the ... then it stops. The ... then it stops. Then you're gonna get a picture of his butt with a "you missed a spot," followed by the "is collateral damage allowed?"
I will send back a shrug emoji, an emoji of like a fire with a question mark.
You're gonna get a emoji that is like a lightning bolt, a door, an explosion, and then a bunch of wind emojis.
3 thumbs up.
All right. You'll get a message. Can you get back here, or am I on my own?
I will text you back an address for a dropped pin in Ammon Maps to a local Baja Burger in Dust Banter.
Oswald, as you drift back up onto the second floor, passing the kitchen staff and the various workers, as you get to the main deck, you will see the halfling you saw before, though it is a little bit hard because now that you look at it, there's multiple halflings here that are all done up, that all say Roy on their name. I'm pretty sure you can spot the one that you spoke with, or that you saw before having a smoke with.
Yeah, I'd probably just go like hang out next to that Roy, just nod and say, hey, and just hang out and chill. Like, it's pretty clear we're both just trying to more or less avoid work.
Yeah, I mean, as this Roy is holding a plate of hors d'oeuvres and empty champagne flutes, they
I've
will
got like spray paint on my face now.
Exactly. They would look back over to the person they ran into the halls as you're just like half neon sprayed on one side with the cat sticking out of the front of your cup, as they'll kind of look at you and drink, sir.
Washroom?
Yes, right this way. The Roy will take you back
Yeah.
towards that area before. Once you guys get far enough away from other people, they'll kind of say, "My name's not Roy, it's Johannes, but."
Oswald, good to meet you. And I'll like make to shake his hand and realize my hand's covered in paint, and then put my hand away.
He'll. Sorry, I can't. Like,
I get
as
it. Yeah. yeah. Man, this is nuts.
Yeah. When you have enough money,
Yeah.
don't tell anybody. He couldn't get DJ Cash Masterson. He's still pretty upset about that.
I guess even when you have more money than anybody else, you still need more money.
Ain't that the case? But Johannes will show you where the restrooms are.
Yeah.
They are very tight. They're small. It's actually the weirdest part about this is these don't feel luxury.
Mm-hmm.
Almost forcefully designed to be uncomfortable to force you back out of here.
Okay.
Like the toilet seats at an angle that's not comfortable to sit at. There's barely enough room to stand. You pretty much go from if you went from a sitting to washing hands position, it is almost the same motion as you get up to use the sink to lift out of. But the sharp angles and tightness in here, as you close that door, it feels claustrophobic for a moment. But then, Oswald, all of these angles feel like a way out. And in the corners, tucked between here and this restroom, with a heavy bass above, with the yelling in the distance, the screaming of animals from the second floor, and feel the call. All of these right angles, you find yourself looking upon the razor grass fields. But what stands out as strange is you can see patches of fields further away, where different angles are. Different spots on the ship that you feel you can move from grass patch to grass patch if you move carefully.
Alright. Well, I suppose I'm going to try to do that. I'll try and, I reach for it, I guess? I'm not even really sure how to move through it. I can tell I need to move differently and think differently about how movement works. But I'm hopped up on 70 hours of awake and lots of energy drink at this point, so I probably think very differently.
So I feel this is very much that Oswald moment of, oh, of course it makes sense.
Oh yeah, and I have no idea what was in that last energy drink I got from the fancy store. God knows what those corporate people put in their energy drinks. God, I have 6 more of those.
That's right, yeah, you have 5 left. You grab the rest of the 6-pack. You will notice eventually, though, that your bank account is deducted 500 credits per.
Good God.
So you spent 3,300 credits.
Whoa. Okay. I'll make a note of that.
Sounds like you need to get the company card.
Yep.
There's various patches of razor grass scattered amongst the darkness between spaces. You feel like you could move to. Is there a direction you're trying to go to, or are you just seeing where the patches go?
I think I would just go for the nearest one because I'm not really sure how this works yet, and I feel like, if I try farther, then I don't know, might get lost or something on the way.
Yeah,
So-
go and give me a wisdom check.
That worked so well last time. I got an 8 this time.
All right, with an 8, Oswald, you step into the corner. The bathroom fades away, as in the distance. Upon the fields, you see a massive, multi-armed, mantis-like creature. Tiers upon tiers of teeth and jaws scattered from nose all the way down to chin as they overlap themselves like shark's teeth as they're pushing forward, falling out and reforming. The massive Lord of Tindalos, as it hunts upon the fields, does not seem to look down at you, but you do feel as though its gaze notices you. As you step out into a kitchen where a Lycal is asking you, "Fuck are you doing here? Why are you blocking me?"
And I'll step to the side and get out of this angry person's way.
They seem more angry than confused as you realize you've stepped out of the corner of the freezer where the food's being kept.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. I'm gonna try and think back to where I just was, and was there any indication of the patch of grass I was heading towards that suggested I might end up at a freezer?
Thinking on it, no, it didn't feel that you would end up here.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Between distances, maybe it was colder, but it was hard to tell between the spaces where there are no grass. It is infinitely cold. It's nothing.
Yeah. I'm gonna check my phone and see how much time has passed.
None at all.
Neat. Okay, then I'm gonna try and go back into the freezer and see if I can go for a farther away patch. And maybe I'll just randomly happenstance my way to the gallery.
You definitely try, but between the screaming of this person, you can't concentrate enough. There's no grass in here. It's
Right.
cold, there's meat, and there's an angry Lycal holding a very well-made masterwork knife. Not in an aggressive way, but in a,
Sure.
I'm here to get something, and why the fuck are you blocking me?
Yeah, I need to slice that cheese right there. You're standing in front of it. Fucking move!
Down below, in the gala, Sparks.
Sparks is going to look at that obsidian spearhead and then the symbiote skin thing, and I want to see if he's got the intelligence to know if it's possible to because he opened the door. I want to see if he's got the intelligence to figure a way to jam that obsidian blade head into a piece of metal lips to get more purchase in it. I have a plan that I don't know if it's going to work, but might be fun.
All right, I'm down for the plan. You think it should work like that? You should be able to pull that off.
Okay. Then I'm going to look at the things to see if there's any type of alarms on this stuff that is around me. Any obvious alarms or even just normal alarms.
You can see that all of the daises at least have arcane symbols on them that help levitate it, of course, but it wouldn't be outside of reach or idea that they'd be alarmed or triggered if they're interacted with.
Okay. I also want to look at that symbiote skin closer. I want to kind of see if I can figure out what it is.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a knowledge planes would be what's used for this. Or,
Joy. Yep.
or if you have it, knowledge psionics.
No, I got planes, kind of. A whole 6.
Though the skin does twitch and move as you approach, or as you get close to it, like it's reaching out, but it can't seem to get past the edge of the dais. There's not too much else you can determine from it, with the exception, of course, that it does seem to react to motion.
I'm going to kick it back over to Oswald because I want to let him do what he needs to do while I make the last-ditch decision on my end because I'm still not 100% sure I like my plan.
I like the plan.
Oswald, as you step out of this freezer, as Mustalix is just, what? Get out of here! You get out! Go! Oh my God!
I do. I exit the kitchen entirely.
Yeah, you rush by the chopped up body of the young onyx deer. You can see as they're currently lowering the basilisk into a boiling pot, still alive. As you cut past workers that are chopping vegetables, you find yourself at the front of the kitchen as a couple of Vice Catering employees are gathering up things to take upstairs with the heavy bass of DJ Deadbolt's beats coming from above.
If I'm out of the way a little bit, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check that, like, in case of emergency map on the wall again, because this time I actually do want to know where, like, in case of emergency, where's the escape pod or lifeboat or whatever the hell airships have.
And you know this from your father, who is a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Every Mon Air airship is built in with arcane failsafes that if the ship were to crash, it does actually create a large bubble of featherfall that prevents the ship from falling entirely. You've heard of the spell not triggering before, but it usually means it has to be involved with like heavier magic. Mm-hmm. Right? They usually don't want to let arcane casters on airships because of this.
The whole plan is go down with the ship because the ship will descend safely in case of emergency.
Correct.
Okay, good to know. Then yeah, I'm gonna try and go back to that same washroom, I think. Try and find my way back there, because that seems like that's the starting point to go elseplace.
You leave the second floor kitchen as you run back upstairs. You'll pass by Johannes having another cigarette as you rush into the bathroom.
Yep, still with paint on my face because I never got around to washing myself.
You tuck yourself back in and close the door. Breathe in and let the silence envelop you for a moment before the grass fields return.
Okay, yeah, still feels freaky, but it's starting to feel a little normal, and it kind of feels nice.
Yeah, go and give me that wisdom check again.
This time I got a 10. I'm getting better.
You are, and with a 10, you can see where the grass goes a little bit. You can see cold grass. You can see the razor grass coupled with soft green grass. You can see the razor grass upon a beach field soaked in salt water, looking out over the city.
Okay. I know above table this is a bad idea, but I'm going to go for the beach grass.
The scales on your arms protect you from the razor blade grass. You find yourself popping out into a small area. You can hear the gulls crying in the background. You can see the striped neon butt of Sparks as there are 8 pillars in this room with you. And Sparks, out of nowhere, Oswald is standing in the corner, about ankle high in wet sand.
Sparks is gonna kind of jump, get into position, get into the pose like he, got caught, looks and just be like, oh, okay, don't know where you came from.
Yeah, I'm looking around like half wild-eyed, like I came from the grass.
And Sparks, you can see that Oswald's hands, the edge of his fingers are blackened a bit, and you can see a faint kind of iridescent sheen on the scaling that appears to be coming from his wrists up to his elbow.
I think you've had too much energy drink, my friend. It seems to be affecting your tingly bits. So, behind that door is a wall. I'm thinking you grab the painting, I grab the sword bit, and maybe the skin, because it looks cool. And I blow a hole out the back and we jump. As Sparks is literally starting to charge, he's going to use the elemental overflow. It takes a full round, but I'm going to do it so that I can contain the magic so it is not as loud, so it doesn't give away, so I can suppress some of the boost up, because I want to give myself the +2 to my con.
Yeah. Hole in the ship, you jump out, I get the painting. That makes sense. I do have the featherfall on my newer gear.
You do.
That's right. That should work, actually.
So Sparks is now kind of sparking with electricity as there's more wind around him. Are you gonna grab frame and all, or are you just gonna grab the inside bit?
Well, is something going to happen when I grab it, do you think? You spent more time in this room.
I don't know. Sparks ain't a bright one.
I mean, I don't care about the frame, but if I take the time to get it out of the frame, we might run out of time to get out.
Then I guess we run. And Sparks is going to grab the blade that I'm supposed to grab and grab the symbiote suit while he chucks air blast.
As you grab the blade, a couple things will happen. One, the alarms go off. Klaxon starts ringing. The guards at the front there pull aside that vine trellis. But as you touch this blade of Arashi, your elemental abilities are now infused with electricity.
Ooh. Sparks is gonna grab for the symbiote skin and look at Oswald with the time to go.
Yep, I'm grabbing for the painting.
He's going to cast Bolt at that door.
The alarm triggers. You go to fire bolt. Oswald's running for the painting. The vine trellis is shoved aside as the two guards step in, the one in the leaf armor, the other one in the ceramic plating. The one in the leaf armor draws a long, curved blade that shimmers with mithril. The other one's blade is kept in its sheath as they put two hands upon it. Sparks, go ahead and roll me initiative.
I did. I got a 17.
And Oswald, what'd you get?
I got a 30. Burning up those 20s. That way I don't have to use them for combat.
Very well. As they burst in here, the klaxon alarms going. Oswald, you are the first to react.
So I'm going to grab a globe and cast darkness on it and just kind of hurl it generally towards the two.
Perfect.
And then I'm going to use a grappling hook to kind of zip towards a corner or something so that I'm not in the square they last saw me in.
Okay, but you're aiming for the painting.
Yes.
Yeah. As you throw the globe out, as it shifts from light to dark, it does cast this area in kind of weird strobe effect, right? Darkness with, when you're not in a place that's dark, it's very bright.
Yeah.
You're able to launch your gear towards the dais that has the painting on it, which, as you know, is down by the door because she had to reorganize all of the daises in order to get that flow from modern artifice to ancient.
Right.
So you rocket ship yourself back across to where the painting is. The darkness bubble envelops these two guards, and your vision easily sees through it. You can see that one of them, the one in kind of leaf armor, does seem to be perturbed, or at least have problems with this. The other one, you see the sheen of the cybernetic implants in their eyes as it shifts into dark vision.
Okay.
This one here bumbles about. The one in leaf armor reaches out for walls or a dais, a way to find themselves so they can orient. Of course, as they do touch a dais, they will set off another alarm as the klaxons get louder as they've broken that, making this room somewhat deafening. So any perception checks in here will be suffering a -4 for all of you.
Yeah, it's sensory overload.
And the symbiotic skin, the knife thing that I need, and Oswald just grabbed the painting.
That set off that alarm. You're at the psionic skin, which the psionic skin was at the end here as well. So you're going to grab that here on this coming turn, which will increase the alarm sound, which will increase the penalty.
Awesome.
As it is -2 per dais. But that guy, as he stumbles over and touches the other one, that activates, putting us all to -6. Sparks, you actually can't hear DJ Deadbolt's music anymore. It is just alarms.
Wow, something's louder than Deadbolt. Impressive.
But the psionic skin is reaching towards you as you reach towards it on its dais. And if you do spend this action to grab it, we'll bump those penalties up to a -8 as it gets louder.
Yep, I'm going to grab that, and then I am going to cast Bolt on the wall. I just want to blow a hole out that back wall.
All right, go ahead and give me a damage roll. No attack roll necessary. Actually, hold on. Give me an attack roll, not because you could miss, but just in case you crit. Any damage you do, also roll that much damage again as electric.
Do you want my ranged attack?
Okay, no crit, no worries.
5, 6, 7, 8, 28.
Yeah, you fire against the wall here. The natural durability of the void glass, as well as the well-constructed ship, does provide a bit of resistance, but you can see it break and splinter a bit, but it's not broken through.
I'm gonna look at Oswald and go, I need more time.
2 thumbs up.
Not like you can hear me.
Yeah. I mean, I can guess what's going on. We're like,
As you guys are fighting on the sand, and the sand does actually help in this case, as it does slow down our opponent as he is moving towards Oswald. Hand on blade, as he's able to maneuver through the darkness with his cybernetic eyes without a problem or issue. He does say something, but none of you hear it. Oswald.
It didn't seem like what he was saying was casting a spell, did it?
No, he didn't move his hands or do anything like that.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, I'm going to grab the painting, and I'm going to then cast invisibility.
We are going to put a 20% fail chance, because you're kind of deafened, for trying to cast. So
Makes sense. Cool. Then I will attempt to cast invisibility.
all right, roll me a percentile dice, 20 or less. You just don't do it.
Sounds good. High rolls are good for me. I got a 56.
Boosh, you go invisible.
So it's pretty plain what just happened to this guy who watched me do it.
You will shift invisible, but you can still see the heavy indentation of your feet in the sand. Nobody can hear the confused and angry meow that comes out during these klaxon alarms.
Yep. Yeah, Cobbler's having a rough go of it right now.
Oswald, through the darkness, as you are invisible, as you look through it, the woman in the leafed armor that has drawn this mithril blade will hold it up for a moment before they will bring their blade across, cutting the darkness.
Oh, that's a cool sword.
I do not want to get hit by it.
I want to take it.
So you can see that you're left with like a semi-sphere of darkness, which does cover the area towards you, but they've cut away the part that covers them.
Okay, neat.
Sparks.
Sparks is going to focus in on that spot and then hit it again as much as he can. So here's the attack. It is a 17, no crit. 23.
You are breaking through though. You can see the dark wood is now starting to crack that reinforced the ship behind the void glass. You can hear the whistling as like there is wind starting to come through those cracks, but you might need another turn, maybe 2 at this rate to be able to break through.
Okay.
The symbiotic skin though, as you're holding it, is going to be wrapping itself around your arm, pulling itself onto your body as it's trying to get underneath your armor to attach to you.
Sparks has seen too many hero movies. He is not concerned.
The one here will step forward. With the ceramic plating, as you hear him squish through the wet sand, he draws his blade in a single swift motion before putting it back as the wind blade seems to come close to hitting you.
Huh.
With a 25, Oswald.
Is he rolling a mischance?
He is not.
Oh, what an asshole. Then yes, this hits. Because I haven't moved enough.
So, as he puts it back, as the wind moves past you, for a moment, you feel like you're fine, until under your skin, you feel the burning and searing of muscle tearing, as though the cut happened, but didn't cut you.
Yeah, like a paper cut, except inside.
You will take 11 physical
Ow.
Yep.
and 8 points of electric force damage.
Ooh. All right, that one cuts right through.
At this close, you thought you should be able to hear him, but he's still yelling something at you. You don't know what.
Yeah.
At -6, you might have. At -10, this is a pickup line in a loud bar. You don't know what the hell's coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
But it is your turn.
I think the correct action is just to move away from this guy and try and keep his focus on me so that Sparks has more time to blow a hole in that wall. So yeah, I'm going to move back, I guess.
Okay. You'll provoke then as your move action?
I do not because of my escape route teamwork feat. I don't provoke AoEs when moving through spaces adjacent to an ally.
Absolutely awesome with your solo tactics.
That's right.
And escape route.
Yep, and then I will use my grappling to zip over here somewhere.
Yeah, it's hard with the illusions and the void glass in here to determine where that would be. But yeah, you slam your feet against the screen as your mighty gear is able to hold you up against the ceiling of this floor.
Yeah, that'll work. I'll draw my sword as I do that. that grappling movement as well.
Alrighty. The woman in leaf armor brings their blade down again as they slice through the rest of the darkness, getting rid of it. Sparks.
Going for that wall again. Come on, crit.
No crit yet.
No crit yet. You're looking at 26 points of damage.
26 points. The dark wood is cracking. Like you can see parts of it kind of falling out into the darkness, which is the sky above the city. The clouds kind of whipping in. You can feel that cold air rushing, the moisture from the rain. It is still early spring, so it's not horrifically cold, but you are up pretty high.
Is this wall viewed as outside yet?
For this next attack, it will be.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Our ceramic plated guard, with Oswald having stepped away, will use this to move to Sparks.
Damn.
Oh, crap.
And with that, will make an attack. As they draw the blade in a single, quick motion, they get an 18.
Yeah, that is my AC exact.
E-Sparks, after you fire into the wall, you'll watch as this gentleman draws their blade so quick and puts it right back that it seems odd, as though they may not have drawn it. But like Oswald before you, a fierce wind cuts across you, 5 points of physical damage, and 13 points of electric force. Now, half of that you can ignore, as the blade of Arashi will absorb the electricity.
Nice.
Okay, sweet. I might not want to give this blade up.
Oswald.
So the dude who just cut Sparks resheathed the sword?
Yep, as they did after they attacked you.
Right. Okay. So feels like if I wanted to try and take that sword from them at this point, that's not a disarm?
It's harder than that. Like, the sheath is attached to their body,
Yeah.
and they're holding it with both hands, so
Okay.
it is an attended item
Okay.
that is like locked gauntlet style.
Yeah.
You might be able to disarm hard enough and rip that out,
Right.
but it's going to take a very good disarm versus a strong CMD.
Yeah. That seems like not the way to go. I think the thing to do is to make it clear that I'm still a threat that he needs to pay attention to. So I'm going to, I'm going to move up to flank. So zip in with my grappling hook, move into flank, and try and hit him subdually with the sword.
Alrighty.
So 30 to hit. Nice.
Yeah, as you rush in, he will attempt to parry this, but with a natural 1, as he draws the blade, electricity cackling, force ready, as he goes to stop your dancing blade. Whether he didn't time this right, or maybe the fact like hit this at the wrong angle, the electricity that sparked from him drawing drifts away into the shard of Arashi, pulling the weapon out of his hands as it bounces off your dancing blade and into the sand below.
Neat.
But
Okay.
you do hit.
Nice. Okay. With a little bit of sneak attack, that ends up being 18 points of subdual to this guy.
Yeah, with a strong oof. He does not enjoy what just happened.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to give a little extra juice to the Hedron equipment and continue past as well.
Yeah, he's going to reach out to attempt to grab you, to grapple as you go by,
Okay.
but he only gets a 20.
Not good enough with mobility and everything else turned on.
We see the leafy armored character as she will move towards you. Unfortunately, with the heavy sand and her heavy armor, she's able to get to you, Oswald, but not make a strike.
Okay.
Sparks.
This invisibility is
Alright.
doing me no favors.
Sparks is gonna do what Spark does best and destroy rich people's things. So here's my ranged. Ugh, can't crit. And since this is considered outdoors, I actually will get an additional point per die since it's outside. That makes it 12 plus 13, 25 points of damage.
The one here will attempt to clock you as you make a ranged attack in front of it, as he'll swing out with a 20,
That hits my AC.
doing 2 points of physical. But as the electricity cackles and breaks away from that dark wood as you strike it again, it's about large enough now maybe one of you could fit through it, but it might take a round to get through. Like, you need an escape artist to do it quick.
Oh, I had one more thing I was curious about. So I have an ability called magnetism. I was hoping I could steal the one sword that is on the ground.
Nice.
You can push and pull metal objects using magnetism. Since it's not in his hand, I figure. So I'm going to pull that blade into my hand.
Electricity sparks across the sand And across some of the void glass, leaving kind of a blackened area where you can no longer see the ocean as those screens break. As you are holding this unique electric enchanted katana. On his turn, though, he is going to attempt to grapple you.
Oh, this poor guy. Everything is
CMD
going not his
18.
way. He's on like option C for combat now.
Both at 12, he kicks off the sand, which doesn't give him the footing he needs, as he seems to miss you. As you spiral around, drawing the blade into your hand, Oswald.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and do what I did last time before I attempt to hit the guy that's trying to grapple Sparks.
Yeah, he is trying to grapple, but he will take the attack for opportunity as you come in with a 22.
22 does not hit with mobility turned on.
The woman in leaf armor does not seem to be aware that you've left the spot you're at.
Cool. Fan of that. And I will swing again. Total of 23.
You will attempt to parry, though he doesn't have his blade anymore. He does have the ceramic bracers, so he'll use that to try to block, which he does not.
Nice. All right. Then he gets, double ones. 9 points of subdual.
He does not look good. The one in leaf armor will slash at the spot that you were at, as your invisibility will fade away.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Sparks.
All right, one last shot at that wall. 19 to hit, so no crit. 32.
You'll watch as chunks of dark wood will fly out into the sky, drifting away somewhere. You guys can see the lights of other buildings, but at this point, you guys are almost an hour away from Duskblade Tower.
Yeah.
You can see the... Go and give me a visual perception so you won't take the penalty because of the alarms.
26.
With a 26, you think you see the lights of Kushan Bay. So you guys are somewhere probably approaching the Seleni district. You were well outside of Dusk Banter.
All right. And I'm going to take a running jump, and I'll use my acrobatics to avoid getting hit if possible.
Go ahead and roll your acrobatics. He will try to take that swing.
Nice.
24.
He swings and punches at where you are as sand kicks up, and you launch yourself out of the ship. With E-Sparks flying out of the hole, ripped into the side. He turns around and attempts to clock you, Oswald, with a 15 missing.
15 does miss. I feel kind of bad for this guy.
It is now your turn, Oswald.
Yeah, I don't feel bad enough. I'm gonna throw a grappling hook like just at the edge of where the hole is so I can get some momentum and just like fling myself out through that hole.
As you fire your grappling hooks and launch yourself out into the open air of the city. So,
trying my best like not to let this painting turn into a sail as I'm going down. So I'm trying to aim it like edge down.
Oswald, you're now in a free fall above the Dargeth Empire. About 30 feet ahead of you, also falling through the air, is E-Sparks. You guys can see the lights of buildings, the illuminations of advertisements, holographic squids, bugbears, dragons, various monsters, things and fun things like that. Giant billboards of Typh with sunglasses on, lizard folk looking at vacations, travel cats, and the lot. But all of it is, of course, silent as you are whipping through the air. It is nighttime. It's pretty. What do you guys do?
I've got like one hand around this painting, another hand like on Cobbler's head to make sure that Cobbler doesn't freak the fuck out and jump out of my jacket.
Sparks is gonna use his air abilities to kind of slow his descent and maybe capture onto Oswald.
Yeah, a pair of blue and red crows will squawk as you guys go whipping by. You slow the air around you with your abilities, cackling a bit with electricity as you approach Oswald, grabbing onto his scaled arm.
You know, I'd like to say this is the first time I've ever done something like this, but it'd be a lie. You want this fancy sword? I don't do swords.
Sure.
I'll make you a deal. Once our feet are on solid ground, you can have it.
That sounds great. If we're close enough to buildings, then I would like to turn on the Featherfall just to slow things down and grapple my way down.
Your Hedron mining gear is not meant to be fired while free falling.
Right, yeah.
it's not meant for open air like this. So,
Right.
give me a reflex save. On this one, it's going to be 25.
Is
Oh,
it
no.
possible I can increase the friction of the air around us to slow us down further?
With your ability to manipulate air in the ether around you, we are going to let you do a reflex save as well.
So a 30 sound good to you?
Doesn't sound very good to my 12.
But that's a natural 20 for me.
Just do home runs.
Yeah, right?
Yes, absolutely. With as electricity kind of spreads from him to you, as the winds seem to pull and almost drag you guys towards one of the taller churches here in Selene that you're able to attach onto with your grappling hook and lower onto the observatory deck of this like lighthouse church.
Nice.
It is late at night. You find yourself standing in an odd place in an odd city together, as you can see the lights of the airship far above.
Yeah, probably just breathe for a second, just look up at that airship to see if we're being followed somehow.
I'm gonna send a text to Deadbolt with the just free ... free falling.
After just kind of like staring up at the airship for a second, realizing what we just did, I guess I'll text our contact, Arushi.
You send a message to Arushi. The response back is, "Where are you?"
I'll check
Oh,
my
man.
phone's GPS to see where the hell I am.
In the middle of dusk banter, a poor lizard folk puts on his helmet, hops on his hover Vespa, and looks at the hour and a half ahead of him driving to the Selene district. How do we finish this up?
Sparks is gonna look at that symbiote thing and just kind of let it in his armor, and then just look at Oswald with the, well, you got my number. If you ever need to jump out of something tall, give me a call.
I will do that. Thanks, Sparks. This was fun, actually.
It was.
I think we got. Well, I don't know. You don't have a bank account? How do you get paid?
They give me prepaid cards or chips or whatever.
Okay. Well, all right. If you want to hand off the shard or whatever to me, I'll make sure it gets to Arushi so that you can get paid.
I ain't got
it
nowhere
sounds
else
like you're
to go.
taking off. Oh well, then let's
Nah.
go get some food. Let's go get a burger. To hamburgers it is.
Sparks is going to order the biggest, the greasiest, the most jam-packed calzone burger you've ever seen, and then ask them to deep fry it. You might need to get that paint off sooner than later. I don't know if it'll stain your skin.
I like look at my hands and realize I'm still painted.
And this might be the actual full first time you look down at your painted hands, Oswald, and notice the scales and the ridging in your knuckles and the darkness at the edges of your fingertips.
Huh.
And that's where we end the session.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dan, for coming in and playing.
No
Yeah,
problem.
that was a blast, Dan. Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Our intro and outro are brought to you by Nihilor. Song is called Push Clouds. You also heard Consequences. Our sound effects are from Pixabay. So, okay, that's all. Thanks so much for listening. Like, rate, review, subscribe, you know all the stuffs. All right, bye!